USA take on the Tulsa Golden Hurricanes. Coming up next on FSN.
Tradition, pride, determination. Great teams have the ability to regroup from an upset. The Tulsa Golden Hurricane and the Oklahoma Sooners will get that chance today. The chance to test their will to win. Can sophomore running back Adrian Peterson regain his Heisman candidate form? Will the explosive Tulsa offense march into Norman with their weapons fully loaded? An interstate rivalry and another chance at victory. Tulsa at 16th ranked Oklahoma. The Sooner Nation awaits next.
Are anxious for that first win of 05. We're at the Gaylord Family Oklahoma Memorial Stadium in Norman, Oklahoma. It's the Dr. Pepper Big 12 Game of the Week. Today, the Tulsa Golden Hurricane from Conference USA take on the 16th ranked Oklahoma Sooners. When teams lose, changes are made. And here at Oklahoma, freshman quarterback Brett Bomar gets his first start as a Sooner after a glorious high school career. He replaces Paul Thompson, and Coach Bob Stoops told us why.
Over time, you start to get a sense of who we feel is going to be the most consistent, making the right plays, the big plays, and avoid the ones that really hurt you.
Welcome, everyone. Bill Land along with Dave Lapham. Glad to have you aboard here. A lot of problems for Oklahoma in that loss last week to TCU. Not just quarterback changes. We'll see some others. They've got to do something to get their All-American tailback, Adrian Peterson, on track.
Oh, you're right. Particularly the young quarterback. His best friend is the running game. And Peterson, when he was runner-up in the Heisman, averaged almost 6 yards a carry. Last week against TCU, less than 3. It's because he was making his first cut in his own backfield. I don't care how great you are. If you're making your first cut in your own backfield, you have problems up front. And they're trying to rectify some of those problems with the offensive line. They weren't happy with their play. Some of the same guys are playing, but they're all playing different positions. So you're going to see a lot of different combinations, a lot of mix up front, trying to establish an identity and a toughness, and that's what they need. It all starts up front, Bill.
On the Tulsa side, they've received a blow as their record-setting kick returner, Ashlyn Davis, been suspended for conduct detrimental to the team. That might put a little bit more pressure on one of their big playmakers, Garrett Mills.
Yeah, when you lose a playmaker like Davis, I mean, it hurts you. But this guy is big time. He is the real deal. You're going to see Mills lined up at tight end. You're going to see him in the slot as a slot receiver. You're going to see him as an H-back. It's going to be, he's all over the field trying to get a matchup on linebackers. He's got a great sense for getting open. He catches everything, and he's the epitome of a student athlete with a 3.9 GPA in business. He's special.
Tulsa's Nick Graham will have his hands full as he matches up against Travis Wilson, the OU top receiving threat. The Sooners and the Hurricane. The Hurricane has hope. We'll tell you why when we come back. Oklahoma and Tulsa clash. The Hurricane going for the upset, and Tulsa has fond memories of its game in Norman 9 years ago, is called by Bruce Howard.
Degar calling signals, OU showing blitz. Back to pass in his own end zone. Degar throws to the near side, and it is caught by Caswell at the 30, to the 40, to the 50. He may go all the way. 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, TU. And no flag. Holy smokes, it's a 99-yard TD for the University of Tulsa. The longest pass play in the history of Hurricane football.
That dropped OU to 0-3. Their first loss that year was to TCU. And history will repeat. We'll find out with a kickoff coming up on FSN. A sunny and hot afternoon soon to be here in Norman, Oklahoma. Tulsa and the Oklahoma Sooners ready to get after it here on your Dr. Pepper Big 12 Game of the Week. Bill and Dave Lapham with you up top, and right now it's time for a taste of tailgating, brought to you by Johnsonville Brats. Welcome to heaven on a bun. Welcome to Johnsonville.
Go Sooners, go!
How did I get you up here when that's going on down there?
I'm telling you, that's where I want to be. Hey, get one cooked, just well enough for me. It's game time.
When you come back for your second life, you want to be a Johnsonville Pride.
Oh,
all right, it's currently 85 degrees here today. Expected to get up into low 90s. The humidity 47%. Winds not much of a factor at the moment. The series history, we showed you Tulsa's last win here. That was in '96. But Oklahoma owns the series edge 13-7-1. The last two been all Sooners, 95-0. And Bob Stoops, start of his 7th year here in Oklahoma. And it's not often you stump the head coach, but when he was asked at the news conference this week, when's the last time you were involved as a head coach in a season opening loss? He said, well, wait a minute, not here.
Shoot.
Not Florida. As he was defensive coordinator, he goes, sometime in the early days of K-State under Bill Snyder's rebuilding. So certainly not something he wants to get used to.
No, that speaks volumes to the successes that he has enjoyed, that's for sure. And for the very first time under Bob Stoops here at Oklahoma, they lost the game in September. Hadn't happened.
Set to kick it off is Garrett Hartley, 5'9", 182, a sophomore. Remember, Tulsa without Ashlyn Davis, who was suspended due to conduct detrimental to the team. And he, their great kick returner, not playing here today as Oklahoma kicks it off to the Golden Hurricane. In the end zone, they will down it as Moss says we'll bring it out on the 20. And let's take a look at the Golden Hurricane offensively. And we start at the quarterback position with Paul Smith, the sophomore from Owasso, Oklahoma. You see 7'11", 46 yards. He suffered a mild concussion in that loss to Minnesota. They say everything's fine now.
And the coaches were happy with how he performed last week. Steve Craigthorpe said when he came to the sideline, he had good answers for every question until he got dinged. But he knew what was going on out in the field. He knew why plays were being called. He knew why they were or were not being executed. So they're real excited to have him at the helm.
Golden Hurricane lines up 1st and 10, its own 20-yard line. Parrish.
False start.
Flag thrown.
That's a dead ball. The tight end on the left side started before the play. It cost Tulsa 5 yards.
Prior to the snap, a false start by the offense. Penalty is 5 yards. It's still first down.
Let's take a look at Tulsa's rest of their starting unit. The offensive line, big fellas up front. Dannenhauer, who started 14 games, a junior from Bentonville, Arkansas. Stoneham originally a walk-on, and Parrish, Keppel, as well as Moss, Mills, and Ramsey compose the rest of the Yamaha starting lineup for the Golden Hurricane of Tulsa. Coming off that loss to Minnesota, 41-10, and it is 1st and 15 now from the 15. And again, slammed up the middle, no gain, as the Sooners are fired up. Ingram making the tackle. Let's take a look at the Yamaha defensive group for the Oklahoma Sooners. The Sooners defense very strong last week, other than a couple of big plays. Dvorak gets his first start of the season. Ingram made the last play. Latimer and Alexander, the rest of the linebacking core. Onyenegetcha broke up 4 passes last week. Baker, Williams, and the rest of the crew in the secondary for defensive coordinator Brent Venables here in Norman. 2nd and 15, and again a whistle before this one gets underway.
False start again.
Dave, coaches talk about trying to simulate crowd noise. There's nothing you can do for the real thing, though, is there?
No, you're absolutely right. And the offensive lineman.
Prior to the snap, a false start by number 66 of the offense. Penalty is 5 yards, still second down.
Your left tackle, you got the quarterback's blind side, and what you want to do is try to anticipate the snap count. You can't go early, but your only advantage is the snap count. And immediately, left tackle Mike Mengers knew that he had started before the snap of the football. Crowd noise in this venue, this atmosphere, Steve Craigthorpe wanted his guys to handle it. So far, 2 false starts.
2nd down and 20. They're going backwards at the 10. Pressure is on. Pass is complete out near the 20-yard line as Williams makes the tackle on Garrett Mills, their top receiver and H-back, if you will.
Yeah, he'll play H-back, he'll play slot, he'll line up in the backfield, but the pressure's pretty extreme. The ball has to be out quickly. Oklahoma comes in with an extra rush man, Rufus Alexander, in the quarterback's face. I'll tell you, a nice safety valve, though, a safety net to throw to is Garrett Mills. If you're anywhere near his body, he's going to catch it.
3rd and 10. Ball on the 20-yard line. Smith, pump fake. They come after him, and it is incomplete. And Tulsa will have to kick it away on its opening series, as Chris Kindred will come on, and the Oklahoma defense gets everybody juiced.
Well, in Tulsa was their own worst enemy with 2 false starts. When you get off schedule, 1st and 15, now you're 2nd and long, 3rd and long. That's not what you want to have to do against Oklahoma on the first drive of the game. You have to hold your water. Don't be jumpy up front.
Kindred, 38.7 and 6 punts last week against Minnesota, gets this one away.
Ooh, short field.
They're singing fair catch, and Oklahoma, talk about field position, they'll take over on the 41 of the Golden Hurricane, a 22-yard punt. Oklahoma with Rhett Bomar calling the shots today. Redshirt freshman from Grand Prairie, Texas. Last week, got in for a couple of series. He too made a mistake or two, but they're going to give him the shot here today after Paul Thompson struggled to lead the Sooners last week.
Coach's son prepares, knows how to prepare for a football game. There's number 12, Paul Thompson, right here. He's going to be ready. I don't think he'll get in the football game unless Bomar has a meltdown or injury.
Runnels lines up behind him, and then Peterson, and the handoff to Peterson. Peterson across the 40 down near the 39-yard line. And the offensive line, what's going to take us a while to tell you about all the changes there.
Yeah, this is it's musical chairs a little bit up front, trying to find a new starter, true freshman at right tackle. The right guard played center last week. The center played right guard last week. The left guard played tackle last week. The left tackle played right tackle last week. I mean, it's a Chinese fire drill going on there, you know. But they're trying to find the right combination.
2nd down, the Sooners again staying with it. They want to establish Adrian Peterson, and why not, as we take a look at our backs and receivers. Peterson, All-American last year as a freshman, just 22 carries for 63 yards last week. Wilson, their top receiving threat as far as it goes for the deep ball. He had 5 grabs for 52 yards.
And this is where Oklahoma struggled mightily against TCU. There was something like 3 for 14, and they were 0 for 2 on 4th down. You got to convert on 3rd down.
3rd and 3 for the Sooners. First possession. Peterson drags one with him for the first down to the 30-yard line. And Bobby Klink makes the tackle. The senior and a transfer from Oklahoma, now playing for the Hurricane in their secondary.
Davin Joseph just finished a block. Davin Joseph just drove poor Roy Roberts, defensive back, downfield about 10 yards and finished him. Look at this. Nobody's playing the exact same position. Shashan is, for the first time, not starting in quite a few football games. They're taking a look at the big true freshman, Brandon Broxton.
And Peterson sees helmets rolling for the Golden Hurricane. Let's take a look at the Tulsa defensive group here today. As up front for the Hurricane, Latu as well as Nimmons and Lohr. Brandon Jones also in the lineup today. There are the linebackers. Germany actually listed as a bandit, as a 5th defensive back. They move him around. And the rest of the secondary. Ready up! Well, game plan pretty simple so far there, Dave.
Yeah, they want to get an identity established, a physical presence up front, anchor people, hammer Adrian Peterson in there, and make life easy for Rhett Bomar. Have him just manage the football game. They don't want Rhett Bomar to have to win the football game today. They want him to manage the game, not make any mistakes. Solid defense, good special teams, get that running game going. Don't put the pressure on Bomar. And Kevin Wilson coordinating that running game in the offensive line up front.
3rd and 5. Bomar, short drop, complete. Down to the 15-yard line. That will move the chains as Roberts makes the tackle. And Travis Wilson on the receiving end.
Oklahoma's already converted 2 third downs in this first drive. Last game, they only converted 2 for the game. and it starts with protection. And everybody wires their man at the line of scrimmage. The ball's out of Bomar's hands quickly. Chuck Long, having played quarterback himself, Bill, knows that he has to get Bomar's confidence going. The best way to do it, short passes, get his feet on the ground.
1st and 10 at the 15. And again, they keep it on the ground. Down to the 13. Let's send it down to Jim Knox.
All right, thank you, Bill. We're going to keep our eyes on Oklahoma running back Adrian Peterson today. Last week sprained his ankle in the loss against TCU, but practiced all during the week. Said he's 100%. What they're doing, they're double taping it. Under the sock, they tape it, and then over the shoe, nice and sturdy. He says right now he feels good, ready to go. We'll see.
Spatman Knoxy, you're looking good with the spats there. I'm telling you.
You got him climbing walls, wearing spats, doing it all today.
We got an athlete on the sidelines.
2nd and 8. Peterson pulls his way and still on his feet down near the 2-yard line. What an effort by Adrian Peterson before Nick Bunting finally brings him down with Chris Chamberlain.
Yeah, Nick Bunting was holding on to the 1 foot for dear life and waiting for troops to get there. Peterson ran through people, and a lot of his 1,900 yards last season were right between the tackles and finishing runs. Adrian Peterson, people bouncing off him, breaks 1 tackle. Now he's got Bunting. Bunting needs to give him a token for that ride. He dragged him for quite a while there.
8 plays, 40 yards on this drive, nothing fancy. Adrian Peterson. And guess what? Peterson again, pushing to get to the end zone. No signal yet, except from the Oklahoma players.
Well, it's on the inch line. He's close. He's tight.
Karatapian leading the charge on the tackle, the sophomore out of Chatsworth, California. And Peterson, record-setting numbers last year.
Adrian Peterson is a force. I mean, he's got a rare combination of breakaway speed, and you see his power. I mean, you have to gang tackle him. 3 Tulsa defenders it took to bring him down.
Peterson again. And this time he's in. Touchdown, Oklahoma. And the Sooners, first possession, and they score 6-0.
Well, I think Bob Stoops is happy about the identity that was established early, the physical presence, smash mouth football. Fullback gets the kick out block, guard turns it up inside, little power O, guard off guard key in the fullback's block, and Adrian Peterson coaches it up in there. Kevin Wilson, offensive line coach for Oklahoma, has to be happy with that drive.
Hartley for the point after. The kick is up and is good. And the Sooners strike first. Peterson with a touchdown. 7-0 over Tulsa on FSN.
Split, you know. Get that nice split in the broth. Then you got plenty of room to put the mustard and everything. I love that.
That special stadium sauce they've got up in Milwaukee. Oh, my goodness. Bring it on down here with us, huh? Great day for college football here in Norman. Sooner fans been grumbling all week after a loss to TCU. Well, they've been soothed a bit by an opening touchdown. Adrian Peterson, 9 carries, 31 yards in that 41-yard drive that took 4 minutes and 36 seconds off the clock. And there it is, as 10 plays and Peterson carrying on 9 of them.
Well, ball control, and the key was only 41 yards. Field position, defense, and special teams set the offense up.
Johnson and Moss are back. Moss with the return at the 15, shy of the 20-yard line as he brings it out, and a flag is thrown. Jason Carter made the stop. Wait for the huddle. 17-yard kick return by Idris Moss.
And once again, this is where...
On the run back, holding by number 35 of the receiving team. Penalty is half the distance to the goal, and it's first down.
Self-destruction continues. 2 offsides and then a hold. Okay, keys for Tulsa. Grist for Mills. They want to get the big fella 10 catches, and he's their weapon. Baffle Bomar. They want to confuse him a little bit, not give him any clear pre-snap reads. They want to get in his head and make him tentative in the pocket. AAA. Tulsa wants to get lined up correctly, particularly defensively. 70-yard touchdown run last week, Bill, that Minnesota had was because 2 guys lined up improperly. Alignment, assignment, adjustment, AAA.
One of our Polaris keys to the game for the Golden Hurricane as Paul Smith brings him out. And last time they really struggled with the penalties. Another flag is thrown, and this one will not get underway.
Crowd noise is killing them.
Even though these two teams both lost last week and by different scores.
Prior to the snap, a false start by number 78 of the offense. The penalty is 5 yards, and it's still first down.
I think the coaches came in here today for both teams concerned about their own teams more than the other, Dave, because of things like this.
You know, I agree with that. Jeff Parrott, once you get 6'7", 330 pounds going early, you can't stop it. And you can't move early. I mean, you just have to concentrate, focus. If you're not sure, you have to look inside, peripheral vision. Don't move till the ball moves. I know it's your only advantage you have as an offensive lineman is the snap count, but if you can't hear, you have to adjust.
As a result, 1st and 14, the ball on the 4. OU coming after him, and a little bit of breathing room this time as Parrish brings it out near the 12-yard line. Parrish last week against the Minnesota Gophers, 12 carries, 84 yards. DJ Wolf, a converted running back, made the tackle. And there you see Parrish last year, the 11th Tulsa player with a $1 grand season rushing-wise, and scored 8 times.
And he was efficient. Over 5 yards a carry is nice efficiency. I mean, every 2 carries, you're moving the chains.
Hurricane in the WAC last year, new members of Conference USA this year. And nothing doing here on the 2nd and 6 for Paul Smith. Dvorak makes the tackle. 94, there's Dusty, a senior out of Lake Dallas, Texas.
You see the bandage on that left arm, that's his torn bicep.
Instant replay is experimental for the 05 season here in the Big 12 Conference, includes all conference games. It's initiated strictly by the replay official in the press box, and the alternate game official assists in the review. And reviewable until ball is snapped. And the whole thing is to get it right in a very simple deal, to have a fair game and overturn the major mistakes, although very few are ever made. Tulsa passing, and they come back to Garrett Mills, appears to have the first down out near the 23-yard line. Lewis Baker making the tackle.
Well, what you have to remember about replay is it's initiated from upstairs down, not from downstairs up. In the NFL, coach's challenge. Up in college football, it's the replay official. And last week, 7 plays reviewed, 4 were overturned. Over 50% were overturned, and it was done in a timely fashion. 1 minute and 45 seconds. That's not intrusive to the game.
That's 7 plays, and I believe the 8 games that had replay for Big 12. So you see how seldom it comes into play. Parrish again finds some rambling room, and DJ Wolf makes the tackle. Now Tulsa finally starting to settle down a little bit, moving the chains and favorable field position out near the 37.
And they're doing a good job of hurting Oklahoma between the tackles. Watch everybody get a hat on somebody. They're doing a good job of picking up the stunting and twisting that Oklahoma's doing inside. Oklahoma's being very aggressive with their linebackers toward the line of scrimmage. The problem is when you run blitz, if you can crease the line of scrimmage, there's nobody at that linebacker level because they've already attacked the line of scrimmage.
4 plays, 34 yards for the Hurricane on this drive. Smith in trouble and hit. Well shy on the line of scrimmage at the 36-yard line. Rufus Alexander. They're not booing, they're roofing for Alexander, the junior from Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Well, he had a heck of a game last week, as always. And last season, he forced 3 fumbles and recovered 3 fumbles. So Rufus Alexander can make some plays. In fact, that linebacker group as a whole did a heck of a job all last season and last week.
Last week, remember, OU lost, but the defense only gave up 226 yards in the air, 58 on the ground, 284 total against TCU. A fumble, Parrish pounces right back on top of it. Oh, there you again, as Tulsa, about the time you think they got a little breathing room. A loss on a play and then a fumble. And now they're sitting in dire straits once again.
Well, they're fighting such poor field position. I mean, they punched it out a couple of times from the 1-yard line and from the 5-yard line against Minnesota. There's a late flag here. Official throws a flag as Tulsa's running a lot of people out in the field. I don't know if he's talking about illegal substitution or what. It was very late was the flag.
Sideline warning on Tulsa. First warning.
got to get 5 yards. They can't have anything more than the coaches in that little 5-yard white area between the sideline and where the bench area is. Can't have too many people in that area. That's what the warning is. They had a bunch of their personnel up in that little 5-yard zone right here. This white. You can't have a bunch of bodies in that zone. They had a bunch of players up there substituting them in, and it was too crowded. The officials gave them a warning.
Steve Craigthorpe, third-year head coach, who turned him around his first year at 8-5. Last year they went 4-8. Nearly picked off out in the secondary by DJ Wolf as it sailed through his hands.
Former running back DJ Wolf has made the conversion successfully to the cornerback position.
Sooner defense holds, and Oklahoma will get the football back.
And pressure is key. And when you don't have time to throw the football, that's the reason it was just a little bit high, a little bit inaccurate, and pretty good pressure in the quarterback's face prevented that completion.
Up in front, up in front.
Ball rolls down just inside the 20-yard line. And we'll take a Dr. Pepper break and be back with more Big 12 football, Oklahoma and Tulsa.
On during the day, yeah. In the shadows there, though.
It's about your size.
I'll tell you, I'm waiting to see a true freshman, George Robinson, come in the game. 6'5", 360-pounder. That dog will hunt right there in terms of moving people up front. He's not in the game, hasn't been in the game yet, but he will be.
1st and 10 after the 48-yard punt by Tulsa, and Wilson has it go right off his hands. Bomar coming out trying to connect with Travis Wilson.
I like the call by Chuck Long. The running game has been established, so you run a naked bootleg. You fake the run to the right. The run action comes to the right. Romar comes out all by himself to the left, and Wilson can't control the football. I mean, Bomar's got some ability to move. So you give him a little run-pass option by getting him out in space. Chuck Long understands that.
2nd and 10 from the 20. Peterson.
It's down, it's down,
And
it's down.
hit near the 23-yard line. Peterson carried, if you haven't joined us for the entire telecast, 9 of the first 10 plays on the OU scoring drive. Adrian Peterson for 31 yards and a touchdown.
Well, we just had a little center quarterback exchange problem. We have a new quarterback and a new center. They haven't worked together much. This is warming up before the game. No shoulder pads. Little center quarterback exchange problem. That was about an hour before game time as they're out there warming up, and then it happens in the game. So that's what takes place when you have new guys up the middle.
3rd and 12. Bomar. And incomplete. The intended receiver Cheney, Quentin Cheney, a redshirt freshman from Tulsa.
Well, you don't want to be in 3rd and 12, and that's where Oklahoma found themselves. Protection's outstanding, just a little bit too much on the football. Separation was there. You have to complete that pass. I mean, that was well executed except the throw. The throw has to be more accurate than that, and I'm sure if he had it back again, Bomar would complete it.
-1 yards on the 3 plays, and it's 4th and 12 from the 18. That brings on Freebie. Freebie averaged 38.3 on his kicks last week. Mills fumbles the football, and Tulsa signaling they've got it at the 41.
Well, you put your most sure-handed guy back there to catch the punt. That's what you're most worried about, and he puts it on the carpet.
40-yard punt. Tulsa will take over good field position at the 41 when we come back here in Norman. This is the 10th anniversary of the Big 12 Conference, and there have been many great moments, including Oklahoma's national championship. Quentin Griffin leading the way against Florida State back in 2000. And the Sooners have been in the national title game the last 2 years and come up on the short side. But 7 national titles as they're well marked here at Owen Field. All part of the Gaylord family Oklahoma Memorial Stadium, where the Sooners lead this one 7-0.
Boy, I'll tell you what, Bob Stoops' 2nd year as a head coach to win a national championship. What a history, what a tradition at Oklahoma.
Tulsa with possession and the handoff. And Parrish out to the 40 and just over that. Parrish, 6 100-yard games coming into this season. Alexander and Ingram making the tackles for Coach Stoops' defense.
Well, Dusty Dvorak is the one that caused that play to be unsuccessful. He just hammered the line of scrimmage backwards. He came off the ball, and it all starts with the defensive line. The linebackers scrape and make plays, but the big boys up front are the ones that get it started. Dvorak reestablished the line of scrimmage backwards on that snap.
3:20 to go, first quarter. Tulsa down 7-0. And the pass play incomplete across the middle as Oklahoma breaks it up to Terrian Adams. Alexander covering on the play.
Dusty Dvorak getting the start at the left defensive tackle position. Now he's getting double teamed. After having that big play, he's trying to push the pocket. That's what he can do. Dvorak can push the pocket, and when he has that much respect to basically consume 2 guys, somebody else has to step up that's one-on-one.
3rd and 10 at Tulsa's 40-yard line, their 3rd possession. And is complete out near the 45, but nowhere near enough for the first down. As the receivers wrestled out of bounds finally on the play, Mills hit by DJ Wolfen-Smith.
Tell you, the guy that made the play on this is the quarterback. I mean, Mills is the beneficiary of a good scheme, and Wolf makes a good hit on him. But boy, to step up and deliver the football as courageously as Paul Smith did, he got tattooed and knew he was going to get tattooed and still threw the ball accurately to Mills. That's a good job. That's some courage by the quarterback right there.
4th down and 5, and Tulsa saying, we're going to go for it, or so it would seem. And Oklahoma sending out the kick return unit.
Oklahoma calls timeout. I think right there, Tulsa may have tried to get Oklahoma to jump. It's less than 5 yards they need for a first down. So if they got Oklahoma to jump, they would have gotten that first down by penalty. I'm not sure, down 7-0, that Coach Craig Thorpe would have taken a chance, with that type of field position. I think he was just trying to get them to jump, and Coach Stoops saying, hey guys, don't get jumpy if they do come out again.
Well, Oklahoma, we mentioned all the tradition. Well, certainly part of it is the new unveiling of the Heisman Park, and they started by honoring the late Billy Vessels, the 52 Heisman Trophy winner, helped lead the Sooners to a national title 2 years before, a terrific player. And Vessels honored here yesterday with the unveiling of his statue. And yeah, there'll be more than one, because also there some of the past winners. Dave, you had a chance to enjoy it as well.
Look at the history there. I mean, you've got Barry Switzer, you've got Owens, you've got Sims. I mean, you have all the Heisman Trophy winners. Bob Stoops was there. Jason White was there. Some players from Oklahoma. Everybody was soaking it in. The history of the Oklahoma football tradition is just incredible.
Yeah, and Owens as well as Sims and White will have their statues and unveiled in upcoming seasons, and a great way to honor those that have brought so much here. Jason White, who announced a retirement to his limited professional football career. Those knees took a beating and his body finally gave in. Oh, what a player he was here for the Sooners. And now those folks here that took him for granted appreciate everything he did last time and over the last 5 years. Into the end zone it goes and come out to the 20 on the punt by Chris Kindred. And speaking of Jason, he's with Jim Knox right now.
All right, thank you, Bill. Jason, former Heisman Trophy winner of the Oklahoma Sooners, now back watching today's game. You remember back in your younger days getting your first start. What do you think Rhett Bomar's going through right now?
I know exactly what he's going through. Just being out here in front of a big crowd, wanting to do good, pushing himself to do good. It's tough. He'll relax and he'll learn, and he just relax and he'll play his game, and that's the way I had to do it.
Now, he was practicing last year, so you got a good close-up look at him. The upswing of Rhett Bomar, what would that be?
I think he's a great athlete. He can throw the ball. He runs well. I think he leads this offense to a great season.
You're itching to get in there, aren't you, huh? You're ready to go.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah, thanks.
Kewan Jones gets the carry for Oklahoma, and things have happened so quickly we don't want to forget the Polaris keys to the game for the Sooners, Dave.
Well, the Sooners, they want to get a lot of things done, and the first thing they want to do is eliminate any TCU hangover. I think they've already done that. Yo, Adrian, they want to get Adrian Peterson going, get him in a rhythm, and they've got that done in the first drive. Ball security, no problems yet with fumbles, interceptions. That was a problem last week against TCU.
Oklahoma with the 2nd and 6 and the carry to the 27-yard line. And Blackshire makes the tackle. Bobby Blackshire from Tulsa out of East Central High School.
I think once Bomar is in more than one football game, I think you see a little bit different offense. I think you see a little bit more passing on first down, a little bit more of a mix. This seems to be pretty predictable right now. Run the ball first and second down, then have to throw it on third.
Yeah, those numbers show you what a terrific athlete he was and a versatile in his high school career. Here's what he can do for you when things break down as he dives forward for the first down. Did he get it? We'll see where they mark.
I think he did. Remember, it's not where his body, it's where the football is. Not where his body is, it's where the football is while he's in the field of play is where they mark it. They gave him the first down. That's what he can do. The quarterbacks that move the chains create when things break down. Feel some pressure, know where to go with the football, tuck it, and create, and make something happen. Stretches the football out with that right hand, even though his body's out of bounds. He hasn't landed yet, and the ball is spotted perfectly.
First Down Line is brought to you by Overstock.com, your online outlet. It's all about the O. Long pass here, and it is intercepted by the Golden Hurricane, and Tulsa will bring it back to the 30 and stop there.
It was intercepted because Wilson fell down. Wilson fell down during his route.
Nick Graham with the interception. We talked about the matchup in the pregame, and the junior from Oklahoma City, Millwood High School, comes up with the INT.
Well, he and Wilson were working down the football field, and Wilson trips over Graham and goes down. So now Graham becomes the primary receiver because Wilson's on the carpet. And there's no interference there. They both have their head turns making a play on the ball, and Wilson tripped on Graham's feet.
1st and 10 on the turnover for Oklahoma from its own 30-yard line. Finally winning a little bit of the field position battle. Smith got time, breaks down, brought down. He tried to step forward in the pocket, and he was brought down on the play by IU as CJIU takes care of business.
IU said, "I see you, and I'm going to get you," and IU did that. IU played a season of football at BYU, a defensive end that's got some activity to him. Nice little rip move, get some separation, and now he's off the he shortened the edge. Boy, can he accelerate. That acceleration to close to the quarterback was evident.
Out of Highland, Utah, BYU in 01, also a transfer from Snow Junior College out in the Utah area. That ends the first quarter here in Norman, Oklahoma. And the teams combined for 14 yards in the last 5 minutes of the quarter after a big start. That's the end of the first quarter. Tulsa trailing Oklahoma 7-0. You're watching the Dr. Pepper Big 12 Game of the Week on FSN. Oklahoma with a 7-0 lead going to the second quarter. Jim Knox.
Okay, don't forget, college football fans, you can email us throughout today's game. Just log on to foxsports.com. On MSN, keyword Ask Knox. That's foxsports.com on MSN, keyword Ask Knox. There we go. Send us an email. We'll answer it here throughout the game, guys.
All right, OU fans enjoying things here a little bit better than a week ago when they were beaten by TCU 17-10. Smith, first play of the second quarter, ball deflect off his receiver, Mills, I believe it was, and goes incomplete. It'll be 3rd and 11 from the 29.
Mills wasn't expecting that 99-mile-an-hour fastball he got. Didn't get his hands up quickly enough.
Smith is 3 of 7 for 23 yards. Bomar 1 of 4 for 10 yards and 1 interception as you take a look at the quarterback's work here in the first quarter.
Well, it's a defensive football game just like last week's was. You look at Bomar's numbers, 1 for 4 for 10 yards. Wilson dropped one, split his hands. And then the interception, Wilson trying to run up the back of the defender, basically falls down. He trips on Nick Graham's feet as he's trying to run up his back. I think Bomar's been victimized a little bit.
3rd and 11. Smith complete to Mills. Got a man to beat here at the 40, 45, and Mills is run out of bounds near mid. As Chijoke Onyenagetcha covers on the play. Boy, Mills wide open.
Boy, Onyenagetcha did catch you. He did get you, Mills. If he didn't get you, Mills, it was going to be a touchdown. Little shallow cross, and Mills showing some decent speed. Here he is, just shallow cross, just right underneath the linebackers, uses the umpire as a little bit of a screen, a little bit of a pick. Zone defense, I'm going to get you. Got it done.
Almost didn't get him.
Yeah.
You see Mills in his consecutive games with a catch. Pretty impressive list there. 1st and 10 at midfield for Tulsa, down 7-0 opening moments, second quarter. Parrish scampers up the middle across the 45 of Oklahoma, down near the 43 before CJIU makes the tackle.
Parrish has got some nice vision. Did a good job of picking the correct hole between the tackles, but he leaves the field with a heavy limp. Pretty good job by Dvorak to get it going, but you know, you have to hit the right gap responsibilities. The linebackers looked like he hit the wrong gap to me, and there was a big crease that was exposed and abused there by Parrish.
Mills' 4th catch of the day. Earlier, it's now 2nd and 4. The ball on the 44. Smith tucks it under and should have the first down, it would appear, as Zach Latimer makes the tackle. The 39-yard line.
Seems like Tulsa started to settle down a little bit, Bill. They're not as jumpy. You know, those false start penalties with bad field position that was made worse killed them. I mean, that cost them the short field and cost them the 7 points that Oklahoma put on the board. They only had to go less than half the football field to score. Now they're not hurting themselves. I mean, Oklahoma's good enough. You have to get yourself off the schedule today, and that's what Tulsa's starting to do.
Well, and Smith had limited play. He redshirted last year, got the concussion last week.
Right.
David Johnson played the bulk of the game, played very well, but it takes a while for this guy to kind of get a feel of things. And Oklahoma trying to make him feel it right there on the scramble as he is stopped at the 37.5-yard line.
Much better pressure by Oklahoma's front four early in this football game than all week last week against TCU.
Yeah, Remy A. Odell in on the play there. See Dvorak, number 94, through all the problems, coming back and has been exemplary, named a captain.
You see that left arm, he's got it all bandaged up. He detached, tore his left bicep. So he's rehabbed that. Now he's back 100% physically.
2nd and 9, ball on the 38 for Tulsa. Not much doing, and Oklahoma strings it out nicely. And again, Dvorak and A. Odell in there to make the play.
Yeah, he's doing a good job of controlling the middle of the line of scrimmage. Watch him come off and a little rip there, and now he's knocking the center backwards and able to run down the line of scrimmage. When you're knocking people backwards and reestablishing the line of scrimmage in the wrong direction for the offense, you're getting something done in the pits. I'm sure Dusty Dvorak is thrilled to death to be back on the football field playing football. And, you know, now he's taking care of his body, getting to bed at 10 o'clock at night instead of doing other things.
Smith carries it forward across the 35. That was a 3rd and 10 play. Alexander makes the tackle.
I think you might think about going for it here. Awfully long field goal. If you punt and the ball goes in the end zone, you know, it's only a 15-yard pickup. Now you have to, if you're going to punt the football, you have to have a lot of confidence in your punter to be able to down it inside the 10. If you're going to go for a long field goal, you have to have confidence in your kicker's strong right leg.
And Oklahoma's only score, the only score in this game, was on a short field situation where they stuffed Tulsa. Tulsa made some mistakes in its opening possession. Then the Hurricane ended up giving Oklahoma the ball on the 41-yard line of its own 41, and Peterson did the bulk of the work. Now here's Brad DeVault coming on for the field goal attempt. He's hit from 46. This one is a 52-yarder, and It is good.
Beautiful.
Ooh, what a leg for the senior out of Sapulpa, Brad DeVault.
Coach Craig Thorpe made a good decision. He's, 4th and 7, 4th and long 6, 4th and 7, tough conversion. He said, I'm putting it on your right leg. And DeVault comes through with flying colors. That would have been good from 60.
Welcome back. The Sooner Scooter want a little bit more action as Tulsa gets on the board with Brad DeVault's career best 52-yard field goal, and capping off a 9-play drive that stalled after 35 yards. And Tulsa's making it a football game. Second quarter, 11:17 to go, 7-3.
Boy, DeVault got some tremendous elevation on that 52-yarder. He got it airborne quickly.
Kickoff as Wilson and Rankin's the deep folks. And Wilson out across the 35-yard line.
We got an illegal block on Oklahoma on the return. It's going to cost them field position.
33-yard return. We'll see how they sort it out with the flag that was tossed near the 13.
Illegal block in the back by Oklahoma. Half the distance to the goal. Man, that wasn't just a 10-yard penalty. That cost them a lot of field position.
An illegal block in the back on number 36 of the return team.
Right there.
Penalty is half the distance to the goal, and it's first down.
Not make the head coach happy as Bomar comes on. First Tulsa gets on the board. Then you get a nice return. It's negated, and now you start deep in your own territory at the 10.
Well, that penalty cost them 30 yards. They were out past the 40 on the return. They're starting at their own 10. That's a 30-yard infraction.
Come back to the running game and out near the 13-yard line. Now for Dr. Pepper game break, let's go to Bill Jones.
Bill, an early morning kickoff for Kansas State. They lead Marshall in the fourth quarter, 21-13. Marshall's Ahmad Bradshaw, the short touchdown run, makes it 21-19. They go for two and fail. K-State trying to hold on. 12 minutes left, 21-19.
Wow, what a ball game over in West Virginia.
Heck of a game there. So much parity in college football these days. Welcome here to our Dr. Pepper Big 12 game of the week. Tulsa and Oklahoma. Adrian Peterson with his 11th carry of the day here on a 2nd down and 7. And Graham and Coleman make the stop. Peterson 34 yards going into that play thus far. 31 of those coming on the first series.
When your offense is struggling like Oklahoma's is, you hate to have a 30-yard penalty. That's 3 first downs. I mean, to cost you 30 yards of field position on the kickoff return, you don't want to do that. You put your offense in tough field position and have to generate 3 more first downs.
So 3rd and 3 for the Sooners at the 17-yard line. Bomar, the look in, and it is incomplete. Intended for Wilson again. And Roberts covering on the play. There's a look at Roy, the freshman from Ardmore, Oklahoma, down near the Oklahoma-Texas border.
Once again, Oklahoma cannot convert on 3rd down. Tulsa does a good job. Defense force a 1-2-3 and out. They took advantage of the penalty, the self-destruction of Oklahoma. That critical penalty, illegal block in the back on the return, cost Oklahoma and gave Tulsa a lift defensively.
Something about this end of the field they must be thinking. Tulsa started that way, finally righted its ship. Moss is the deep man. They get away from it. The bounce comes back.
Field.
And Tulsa will get great field position with a timeout called here in Norman. 7-3 Sooners.
Brahms has your burger.
Start with a 1/3 pound, 100% pure beef patty.
Make it with fresh lettuce, tomato, onions, and pepper.
Defense does here, Bill. You know, when Tulsa's defense faced the short field, Oklahoma went down and scored a touchdown. Here is the Oklahoma defense facing a short field. Let's see what they can do on this change.
Yeah, just about the same position.
Yep.
Officially the 40-yard line, just outside of it, though, for Tulsa. Moss, the man in motion. Smith back to pass and complete and hit hard is Mills. He hangs on inside the 25-yard line. Nearly took the shirt off of him. Baker making the tackle. Nice pass, nice catch, nice delivery.
Yeah, over Carter in front of Baker. I mean, just a great route was run and a great delivery of the football. And Mills is as advertised. He runs very, very intelligent routes. He understands where to go to get open, and he catches the football.
17-yard pickup, 1st and 10 at the 23 now. Mills, a first-team all-WAC performer last year, showing you why here today. Pick up a couple on the ground, and Let's go down to Jim Knox.
All right, thank you, Bill. You know, last week Paul Smith suffered a slight concussion in the loss against Minnesota. So far, that Tulsa offensive line doing a tremendous job keeping him protected. Paul Smith comes to the bench. He looks calm, cool, collected, and gaining confidence every time he completes a pass. We'll keep our eyes on Paul Smith the rest of the day and see if he gets hit. And it's going to be interesting seeing if he does get hit, if there's any after percussions there.
Yeah, he's taken a couple of shots, Noxie, but nothing to the head, you know, which is key. He hasn't hit his head on the turf. Sometimes that second contact when your head hits the ground.
Parrish back in the lineup after Dials getting his first carry of the day. Here is Parrish again, nowhere to go. He is stuffed shy of the 20-yard line.
Well, that was a good defensive red zone snap right there, and not what you wanted offensively. You're at the 19-yard line on the snap, and now you find yourself on the outer perimeter of the red zone. Big third down conversion here, because this is red zone, which is the scoring zone. And depending on what happens on this third down, you know, do you now decision time, it's 4th and 1. Does Coach Craigthorpe go for it? Does he kick the field goal? If he converts, a set of 4.
Now DeVault hit the career best 52-yarder last time. Smith got by one defender, the 20, the 15, and hit hard. Shy would appear of the first down. Alexander made the tackle. Well, you're just talking about concussion. You see him dive in head first.
Yeah. Well, you know, what you have to do is finish. They came on the blitz. Everything was drawn up perfectly, but you got to finish. You got to make the tackle. You can't be out of control. You know, you're right there. The quarterback's in your sights, and you got to tackle him. DJ Wolf, former running back, you know, hasn't had a whole lot of experience tackling people in the open field. And that time, he didn't get Smith. He missed, and he was there for the kill. 4th and 1, he's going.
4th and 2, they say they'll go for it. And Parrish. The momentum was swinging to OU. Their line pushed back, and Coleman leading the way. Stephen, a sophomore out of Dallas Skyline High School, makes the tackle.
That's equivalent to a turnover. When you hold a team on downs in the red zone, it gives you the same emotional lift as if you forced a fumble or intercepted a pass. It all starts with these guys getting the penetration, and then boom, there's the disruption. Not only did he get penetration, he separated from the block and made a play. That is a gold star on the forehead of Stephen Coleman right there.
So the Sooners now at their own 15-yard line. And the toss to Peterson. Back to the line of scrimmage. Tulsa's done a nice job of corralling Adrian Peterson, as TCU did last week when they held him to 63 yards on 22 carries. The first down line is brought to you by Overstock.com, your online outlet. It's all about the O.
You know what Tulsa's doing, a lot of movement, Bill. I mean, their objective is to confuse the offensive line's blocking assignments a little bit and make them a little tentative. Watch the movement.
Runnels in motion. Bomar to Peterson out of the backfield. They bring him down just across the 20-yard line as Chamberlain makes the play along with Klink. Peterson, one of the things the coaches talked about, that they wanted to get him more touches this year, and doing it by throwing him the football. Last year he had 5 receptions for the season. He had 2 in the opener, and you see a look here today. Well, obviously that'll help set him up for more stuff like this.
Yeah, he's he got his 2,000 yards. He's over that now in 15 games, fewest in NCAA history. And Tulsa just faced Maroney, who did it in 21 games last week. Tulsa's facing some running backs now.
Yeah, Peterson came in today needing 12 yards, get that 2,000 mark on the ground.
Timeout, Oklahoma. Second timeout.
That picture tells the story. OU a little frustrated again with 5:56 to go in the half. They lead at 7-3. You're watching it all on FSN.
FSN South.
Oklahoma with a 4-point lead, 5:56 to go second quarter in Norman. Later today, our exciting tripleheader continues after the college football Saturday kickoff show presented by Kyocera. Boise State will battle Oregon State, followed by New Mexico State taking on the Big 12's Colorado. It's all later today at 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific only on FSN. Flags and whistles everywhere as the Sooners try to get things underway.
And they got underway a little too quickly. That's going to cost them 5 yards.
That's really got to drive a coach nuts. You take a timeout, you say, all right, let's get it together in the first play, first snap. I'm not quite so sure. Let's see if they get it done.
A dead ball foul. Number 19 lined up beyond the neutral zone. It's a 5-yard penalty, and it's still third down.
Well, you don't like to see that. You got your wide receiver, Quentin Chaney, a big freshman, redshirt freshman, 6', 6" wide receiver. You got to look in and make sure you're not lined up wrong. And he was lined up over the football in the neutral zone, lined up offside. You can't do that.
So 3rd and 10 for Bomar now from the 15. Got all day to throw. And then just as he delivered, that coverage broke down. And Bomar today, after going 2 for 5 for 19 last week.
Well, he has a little center quarterback exchange problem there. He overthrows a wide open receiver. Could have been a big play to the 6', 6" Chaney. And he starts getting kissed a little bit, gets readed, and then here's the interception because Wilson falls down as he's running up the legs of Nick Graham. So I mean, it's been sometimes it's been the quarterback, sometimes it's been others. That's why your offense is struggling.
Freebie punts it away. Tulsa signals fair catch.
No harm.
Yeah, Garrett Mills, I think his own man ran into him, so no penalty there, and it takes an Oklahoma bounce down to the 25. Watching Dr. Pepper, Big 12 football. It's 7-3 Oklahoma.
Hey. Whew.
Campus of the University of Oklahoma, Norman. Big 12 Conference football presented to you by Dr. Pepper, and it's Oklahoma with a 7-3 lead. But Tulsa's had the momentum on its side. A lot of it's Garrett Mills today.
Well, he is big time. He's got 5 catches on the day for 61 yards, and he's caught him different types of routes. And he caught that ball behind him, little shallow cross. He's wide open, almost busted down the sideline. Look at the concentration here. He knows he's going to get contacted immediately by Baker and still squeezes it. He comes from all different angles, all different positions at you.
5 for 61, and Mills tack on another one and a first down as he bounces it outside and goes out of bounds across the 37-yard line.
Well, this kid is a complete package. He competes on the football field and the classroom. And look at this route. Gets in and out of his cuts very well. And he's matched up with a cornerback. He's matched up with Wolf. And because of his ability to sink his hips and get out of that cut, get a little separation on a cornerback, this kid's gifted. Now, he can run routes. He understands how to get open, and he catches it.
He's got 73 yards. Look at this. Tulsa this quarter, 71-13 in yardage edge as they keep it on the ground here on the 1st and 10. Baker makes the tackle. But Mills himself has got 73 yards. Oklahoma has 64 total yards of offense in the ball game.
And that was the 6th catch for Mills. They wanted to get him 10 catches. He's tracking for 12 plus because there's still 5 minutes to go in the first half. He's already got 6. Everybody knew they were going to go to him. That's the sign of a great player. When the defense knows he's the go-to guy and they still somehow get it to the go-to guy, he's got some talent.
2nd and 9 for Tulsa at the 38-yard line. Smith looking for time across the middle and incomplete.
Behind him.
Yeah, a little bit behind Mills, who was open.
Mills is going to be upset, though. Mills figures, I should catch that. If it's near me, I catch it. This is another thing. You look for flexibility. Can he turn his hips and catch the ball behind him? He should have. And he's mad because even though that wasn't the greatest throw, if Mills gets his muckers on it, he says it's his, man. He's not going to drop the ball. He's mad at himself.
Well, Mills coming in with a career total of 1,192 yards and 14 touchdowns and having a banner day. 3rd and 9, maybe look for him again from the 38. Smith across the middle, guess who? First down, Tulsa midfield. Mills once again, they move him all over. Carter and Ingram and Baker converge to make the tackle.
You know, sometimes they line him up in the slot, sometimes they line him up at wide receiver, sometimes they line him up at tight end, at H-back, they line him up on the left side, they line him up on the right side. Here come the backers on a blood cross blitz, and they get the nice hit on Smith, but Smith showing courage again. He knows he trusts Mills. He knows he's going to throw to an area, even though he may not be able to see him because of the blitz. He trusts Mills is going to be there, and he was there.
12-yard pickup, 1st and 10 at the 50. They fake to Parrish. Smith keeps himself, dives back near the line of scrimmage where Thibodeau is there.
Well, you can always go back to key decisions, key plays. 4th and 1, as it didn't turn out, you can always second guess Coach Craigthorpe. You know, oh man, now to be 7-6, and I'm driving the football again. He showed a lot of confidence in his offensive line. Sometimes you make decisions like that so your team knows, look, I have confidence in you. You know, it's sometimes if you don't do things like that, the team thinks, does Coach really think we can win this football game? He made a statement right there. Look, I believe in you guys. I think you can win this football game. It didn't work out.
2nd and 10 for the Hurricane again at midfield. And the spin by Adams and a loss on the play as Rufus Alexander is there for the Sooners. 3:34 to go before halftime. Tulsa's shortening this game.
Yeah, they are shortening the game and attacking the line of scrimmage and bringing those linebackers off the edge. And there's Rufus unblocked. And you, as a running back, you have no shot. I mean, you're going to make your first cut 3 yards in your own backfield. And you have an unblocked linebacker right in your face. Good defensive call.
Oklahoma crowd ought to get into it here. You see Smith's numbers for the day, as he and Mills have been quite a combo. 3rd and 13 at the 47 after the loss of 3 on that last play by Adams.
Look at so many people close to the line of scrimmage here.
Smith, they come after him, and they get it. They collapsed on him at the 45-yard line. DJ Wolf leading the way for Oklahoma with a sack.
Well, DJ Wolf missed a flat, wide-open quarterback sack earlier. Remember when Smith juked him a little bit and made some yards. This time, he doesn't. Here they come, double blitz off the slot. Wolf finishes it up. Tell you what, though, Smith has some make you miss in him. Nick Harris couldn't get him, and Wolf finished it. Former running back.
And a nice transition here. They're really excited about his work on the defensive side. Holmes is the deep man as Smith looks to the Tulsa sideline.
Letting the clock run a little bit and then calls the timeout.
Just 2:10 to go in this first half as the Hurricane calls a timeout.
Lead that clock. Shorten the game like you were saying, Bill.
Yeah, last week against Minnesota, the score tells you 41-10, but they had 353 yards of offense, and they also had the time of possession over 33 minutes to 26.
Right.
So they've shown they can establish some things offensively. They just didn't get in the end zone enough.
The problem is they gave up 300 yards rushing. That's what killed them, and a couple of big touchdown runs.
Oklahoma's yet to get it on track, though. Hey, tomorrow, Fox NFL Sunday returns with an exciting doubleheader action. Begins with Deuce McAllister leading the Saints against Jake Delhomme and the Panthers. Then Drew Bledsoe and the Cowboys try to stop LaDainian Tomlinson and the Chargers, or other regional action in your direction. It all begins tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. Eastern, 8:30 a.m. Pacific, and only on Fox.
The difference with the Oklahoma offense this year, teams played 7 or 8 in the box against Jason White last year, but every once in a while, when the opportunity presented itself with a home run hit, he delivered. He had the real accurate deep ball and created balance, because even though they were stacking the line of scrimmage to take care of Adrian Peterson, he'd hurt him over the top, then they'd get out of the box, and Adrian Peterson would get his numbers. So far this year, they've not been able to take advantage of plays down the field to balance their offense up. They're one-dimensional. People are going to continue to stack the box until they can make some plays in the passing game.
Tulsa to punt it away on 4th and 15 from the 45, and Kindred gets it off. Holmes deep to take it across the 20 and hit there as Tulsa's Bobby Blackshire makes the tackle. And as OU comes on, let's send it down to Jim Knox.
All right, thank you, Bill. The offensive line of Oklahoma has just got a little bit thinner. Brandon Braxton, the big 6'6" freshman, is on the bench with a shoulder injury. They were checking out that, and it doesn't look like he will be back in. So Brandon Braxton could be sitting this one out the rest of the way, guys.
Man, I'll tell you, guy out of Youngstown, Ohio. I'm your part of the country.
Yeah, I think what they're going to do there is they'll put Messner back at right tackle, and we're going to see the big true freshman George Robinson maybe in there a little bit at the left tackle position, or Gavin Joseph is in there at left tackle.
Another timeout as Tulsa calls another timeout here with 2 minutes to go, and hanging tough, although the Oklahoma defense has not broken by any means, only allowing a 52-yard field goal in what has been a defensive game, 7-3. Well, Prentice Gaunt in 1956 ushered in a new era of Oklahoma football as the first African-American He was considered OU's best player in 1958, and he was the MVP of the 1959 Orange Bowl. And so he was honored in 1999 with the naming of the Prentice Gaunt Academic Center on campus. Prentice passed away on March 17th. Our hearts and regards to his family and the entire Sooner community. Class, and more class with this man.
When you see how emotional he was, the reason you get that emotional, I imagine, is you have a center, a building named after you. While you are around to see it, you know that's going to be for eternity. I mean, how do you deal with something like that? That's going to be the most humbling thing in the world. And this guy, on the field, off the field, this is key. Dr. Prentice Gaunt. I mean, more than intelligent, to say the least.
Oh, how he is missed. And great that he is so honored here. And as you mentioned, during his living days, that academic center here is as nice as any place in the country.
And it's going to be there forever. And that's what is overwhelming when you think about something of that magnitude.
All right, let's see what Oklahoma does. With 2 minutes to go in the half, they've been stymied thus far. Now they again get it out to Peterson on the pass. First down, it would appear, across the 30 to the 33-yard line as Latu makes the tackle. Robert Latu out of Fort Worth, Texas.
Well, if they're going to load the box up, the thing you do is you get it to your great running back. It's like a long lateral. Get it to him on the edge, get him outside. The best way to get him outside, get him the football. Pitch it or throw it and let him work in space.
Peterson, catch or run, has 55 of their 75 total yards. And they throw it again here to Finley. Our Sonic America's Drive-In halftime report will be coming up. Bill Jones and Brian Jones with an Ohio State-Texas preview from Columbus. Wow, that'll be a great game. K-State and Marshall are having a dandy right now. The pass is complete on a 2nd and 4 from the 39. And the hurry-up offense working better than the regular deal. Roberts making the tackle on the play. Grabbed by Cheney.
They do have Davin Joseph out there at left tackle. He's moved from left guard back out to left tackle because of the injury up front.
1st and 10 from the 47. Bomar. Incomplete, almost intercepted by the Golden Hurricane.
Intended for Cheney, number 19. Heading for Tulsa, Chris Chamberlain.
Great vision. Nothing impeded whatsoever, and he throws right into double coverage. Shoshana is back in the football game at the left guard position. Davin Joseph is moved out to left tackle. So the mix and match continues up front, trying to find the right combination, trying to get this offense in a rhythm. Can't get that rhythm established.
2nd and 10 at the 47. Bomar scrambling now, back at the 35, and unloads it out of bounds. Good pressure by the Hurricane defense as Bomar tosses it away, stops the clock. 1:09 to go. Each team with one timeout remaining here in this first half, as Bomar's numbers 5 of 12 for 42 yards and has had the one pass picked off by Nick Graham.
Well, when the offense is struggling, it's never one guy, and some of it has been Bomar's problem. Some of it has been the offensive line's problem. Some of it has been his receiver's problem, not catching the football. And when you can't get a rhythm offensively, that's usually the reason. It's never just one thing.
3rd and 10 from the 47. Bomar, just as he was about to be taken down, it is picked off by the Golden Hurricane. Nichols to the 35, and Monroe Nichols is stopped near the 32, and all as the momentum shift again with less than a minute to go.
Jason White can identify, even though he doesn't like what he's seeing. Bomar just, as he was releasing the football, you called it, Bill, he's hit, and it just changed his delivery of the football just enough. And this is a tough situation, trying to execute in the 2-minute drill with the pressure, but he throws into tight coverage, 3 guys in the vicinity. That's a ball that you learn, okay, eat it. Don't throw it, eat it, or try to create something, tuck it and run, but don't throw into that tight of coverage. That's what can happen.
1st and 10 at the 31 after a 29-yard return on the interception by Monroe Nichols, and they go right back to the throwing game here, Tulsa does. Keppel comes up with a reception. First down lines brought to you by Overstock.com. Visit Overstock.com today and start saving. It's all about the O. Pickup of 8 on that pass to Landon Keppel, a senior from Texarkana, Arkansas. And now Tulsa a chance, and again, they're thinking touchdown, not field goal at this moment.
Heck yeah, they are. They're thinking punching in the end zone. They have plenty of time. Time's not the issue. Execution is.
Wow, that raised some eyebrows around the country if they would take the lead before the half. Smith pumping, looking, incomplete. Flag is thrown, intended for
defensive
Mills.
holding. They're going to call him double move, and they grab Mills on the double move, Bill. He said, you know what? I'm not going to let you beat me for a touchdown. I'm going to reach out and grab, and they get caught.
I think it's Baker. We'll see.
Yep.
Williams is the man we're looking at here. Everyone quiet here as they await the verdict.
Well, Mills is a real legitimate threat in the passing game. He is very, very special. Very smooth route runner. Not the fastest guy in the world, but sometimes the fastest guys in the world, like Steve Largent, get in and out of cuts so well, they create separation.
He's 6'2", 232, and efficient.
Holding on number 16 of the defense. The penalty is 10 yards, and it's a first down.
And it was Baker.
And that's the true freshman safety. And, you know, you're thinking, look, I don't want to get beaten. So the pump fake, reach out, grab right there. The double move, out and up. And he grabbed on the out. And if he didn't, it would have been a touchdown. So you know what? Baker didn't make the worst play in the world because he was on the island isolated, and the All-American candidate, Mills, beat him. So he did what he could to save a touchdown. Baker being a sophomore, I think I called him one of those freshmen. He's a sophomore in that defensive backfield. They've got some young DBs that they're real excited about at Oklahoma, he being one of them.
Well, this Oklahoma team, remember, 9 players drafted in the first 5 rounds off last year's team, and that doesn't count the Heisman Trophy winner from 03 that Jim was interviewing, Jason White.
They lost the Heisman Trophy winner, the Outland Trophy winner.
First and 10 at the 13 for Tulsa. Smith, they got great pressure on him, the Sooners did, and he goes down in a lump.
That's what we were talking about, taking the hit, and it doesn't look like it's a problem to his head, although he puts both hands on that head. The contact that you're worried about is the second contact, the hit, and then the head hitting the ground on the artificial turf. And that's what Baker is dealing with here. Unblocked defensive lineman. His head did not hit the ground. I think he just basically got his interior rearranged a little bit.
CJIU putting the pressure there. 2nd and 10 at the 13.
That was an assignment area. You can't let a defensive end go unblocked.
46 seconds to go. Parrish right up the middle. Across the 5 down to the 4-yard line. Uriel Parrish, the senior from Ridgefield Park, New Jersey. And Latimer makes the tackle.
Now there's 30 seconds to play. Tulsa has a timeout. Time is not an issue. Execution is. Tulsa uses that final timeout, and there's no reason not to. Biggest play of the game for them, 3rd and short inside the 5-yard line. Plenty of time to take a shot in the end zone. Right now you want to take that shot in the end zone. Steve Craigthorpe's thinking, what's my best short yardage goal line play right now, the one we've worked on all week? This is the time to pull it out. This is the key time of the game. Over on the other side, Brent Venables is saying, what do you think they're going to try to do from what we've studied? And Coach Stoops and Venables and everybody in that defensive staff trying to think of the best defense to call. Strategy time.
Well, we mentioned Texas and Ohio State with a biggie tonight in Columbus. Next week, we'll see the Longhorns on FSN with Kiosero's College Football Saturday. Rice and Texas in Austin. And, of course, Vince Young and crew, 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific. Regardless of how Texas does tonight, it'll be interesting to see how they handle next week.
No doubt. You know, if they're coming off a defeat, which would be tough for them to do, will they rebound? Will they be resilient? If they're coming off a big victory, you know, you have to worry about the letdown. So there's always something to deal with if you're a player or a coach. And I'll tell you, as far as Texas is concerned, Mac Brown says it so well. Their second toughest regular season victory last year was in Lawrence, Kansas. So you never know when it's going to occur. Everybody is going to try to give Texas, Oklahoma, programs of that magnitude their best shot every single week.
Oklahoma and Tulsa here, and the Hurricane trying to break that streak that dates back to, you got it, Norman in '96 when Tulsa won here.
Now I spread the field here. I don't bunch a formation. I spread it, and you got to look for number 20. Here he is in the wing. Number 20 Mills right here. Now he's in motion.
3rd and 1. Harris leaning, trying to get it. And remember now, Tulsa out of timeouts. Latimer made the tackle.
Alexander's hurt. Alexander made the hit, and he's hurting a little bit. He's rolling onto his butt.
They're going to have to stop the clock here, and this gives Tulsa a break, as you see Latimer in the, or Alexander, I should say, in the Tulsa backfield.
Yeah.
So Alexander.
Well, Steve Craigthorpe saying, I already went 4th and short once, no, unsuccessfully. 3rd and short, didn't happen again, running the football. Let's kick it and go in, down a point. But if you're Oklahoma, be alert for the fake. It's a perfect opportunity to call a fake field goal. You have to make sure that you have all your responsibilities covered, and that right shoulder's sagging. And that does not look like it's a little bit of a stinger or anything else for Rufus Alexander. It looks a little worse than that. It's just basically hanging that right shoulder big time.
Keppel is the holder, and DeVault boots it, and it is good. So a 22-yarder by DeVault, top of the 52-yarder he had earlier in this quarter. And as Alexander's attended to, the Sooners have seen their lead trimmed to 1.
Well, what they're doing there's that AC joint. You know, they reach up under your shoulder pads and hit it in that little AC joint where the shoulder attaches to the collarbone. So that's what Alexander may be dealing with there, a little bit of a bruise, or hopefully nothing worse than that, to that AC joint in his right shoulder.
It is quiet here. You never know. 80,000 here in Norman, huh? With it 7-6. With all due respect to Alexander, it's not because of his injury.
No, and this is what Tulsa was hoping to do, have the fans sit on their hands, and that's what's happening. It's a ball game. They're hanging around. The longer they hang around, the tougher mentally it is for Oklahoma coming off that defeat to TCU last week.
So Oklahoma fans, they're dressed up, ready to go.
That's an interesting little.
It's a new look.
Yeah, it's early Halloween here. Some serious body paint. Body paint's a big business these days on college campuses. You should get a body paint shop and put one on every college campus, and you could put a kid through school with that, I'm sure.
Retire.
Yeah.
There's Travis Wilson, Reggie Smith, the other deep man, as DeVault prepares to kick it off for the University of Tulsa. Pooch kick it here. They don't want to give up any return with just a few seconds on the clock. And Smith is tackled near the 30-yard line, and 1 second on the clock here in Norman at Owen Field.
Well, I wonder if they'll Hail Mary it or just take a knee.
Hey, the last several days we've all seen the devastating effects of Hurricane Katrina along the Gulf Coast, and in particular New Orleans. If you want to help the victims, you can make donations. What you need to do is go to www.salvationarmyusa.org or call 800-SALVATION or SAL-ARMY. You can also go to www.redcross.org or call 800-HELP-NOW. If you experience delays, please be patient. Many people are trying to contact these organizations, and thanks to all of you that have already contributed.
Look at big George Robinson in the game. Left tackle, 6'5", 360-pound true freshman.
Bomar hands it off, and that ends the first half with Peterson tackled on the play. Wow, what a first half. Bit of a stunner here again in Norman as Tulsa stays tight with a pair of field goals. Let's go down to Jim Knox.
Okay, thank you, Bill. Coach, this week you challenged your offense to be more aggressive. Your thoughts on how they played the first half as well as the freshman, Brett Bomar?
Well, we haven't done a lot very well at all offensively. They just can't run it, can't throw it, so hopefully we can find some answers and execute better in the second half.
Any chance of Thompson coming into the second half?
I don't think so, but maybe. We'll see.
Okay, thanks, Coach. Bill?
All right, thanks, Jim. Thanks, Coach Stoops. Halftime score, OU 7-6. Now let's join Bill Jones and Brian Jones on our Sonic America's Drive-In Halftime Show. Welcome back. University of Oklahoma and Tulsa going at it here in Norman in our Dr. Pepper Big 12 Game of the Week, with Oklahoma leading it 7-6 at the half. And once again, this stadium is stunned. Bill Land and Dave Lapham with you. And they need a long halftime to get over it. This Oklahoma team's getting all they want from University of Tulsa.
Oh, there's no question about it. Oklahoma's still struggling to get in an offensive rhythm. I mean, they had the first drive on the short field. Other than that, it's been tough sledding, uphill all the way.
And Garrett Mills is one of the key reasons that Tulsa's hanging right there.
No, there's no doubt. This kid is as advertised. I mean, he understands where and how to get open. He catches everything. And the thing that he does so well, there's a contested catch. Look at the separation by sinking his hips and getting in and out of cuts. Not the fastest in the world, but he's matched up with a cornerback because he sinks his hips and gets out of that cut, gets that separation for the completion.
For the Sooners, how would you grade Red Bomar's first start?
I don't think he's getting a whole lot of help. He's not played well. Okay, is this a receiver running a wrong route or the ball being overthrown? It's certainly not in sync. That's for darn sure. This Wilson falls down. I think that's more on Wilson. Here, though, you're throwing into triple coverage. That's where you have to understand, eat the football or else tuck it and run, live for another day. Statistically, it's amazing to me. Oklahoma is averaging less than 3 yards a carry on the ground. Their 2 turnovers have killed them. They didn't want to, the ball security is going to be a big deal in this football game. They've thrown two big interceptions. They've been outgained. Tulsa has more first downs. I really believe Tulsa has controlled this game more than Oklahoma has, even though Oklahoma has that 1-point lead.
I think most people would feel the same way here. Jim Knox a moment ago had a chance to catch up with Tulsa head coach Steve Craigthorpe to get his thoughts.
Coach, you got to be extremely pleased the way you guys are playing. On offense, doing a nice job with Smith and Garrett. Also, defense doing a nice job with Peterson.
We're doing some good things. We just got to continue to battle. We can win this football game. We knew coming in here that we could play with these guys, and now we just got to play 30 minutes of the best football we've ever played in our life. I told our guys, hey, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. We got to get it done.
Best of luck in the second half.
Appreciate it.
All right, there you have it. That certainly is what sits in front of the Golden Hurricane here, and Tulsa will kick it off with the vault, and it's taken just inside the 20-yard line. Travis Wilson is upended out near the 35-yard line. Remember our Polaris keys to the game? Well, let's update them and take a look after that 16-yard return.
Well, a hangover? Yeah, there is some hangover. I don't know, maybe a few more aspirin at the half to get over that hangover. They are struggling offensively still. And a big part of it is because they cannot get Adrian Peterson past the line of scrimmage without him having to make that first cut. Ball security, I mean, it's minus across the board. Even though they have a 1-point lead, they have not hit their keys to victory as firmly as they wanted to by a long stretch.
First and 10 at the 35 of the Sooners. Play action. Beaumont fumbled the football, and it is on the deck.
He got it.
Got it back. What a hit, though, as Red Bomar nailed by Nichols and Craver, I believe.
Yeah. And unblocked on the edge. Little naked bootleg. Craver says, no, I'm blitzing off the slot. Perfect defensive call. It was almost like they were listening in the huddle of the offense saying, okay, it's going to be a naked bootleg. We're going to blitz off the slot and have him unblocked. I mean, you could not have a better defensive call for an offensive play selection if you weren't listening.
Craver with a hit, second down and 25. And Oklahoma with Adrian Peterson. Stopped by Blackshire.
Talk about off schedule. Man, not only do you get knocked backwards, you put the ball on the carpet. You do recover it, but a great defensive start for Tulsa. The Oklahoma fans are stunned silence. This is what Tulsa wanted to do. It's a tough venue when the crowd gets rocking. You make them sit on their hands. It's a great feeling when you're on the road getting that done in this type of environment.
Bomar, third and 18, and he is hit again as Oklahoma nailed back on the 15-yard line, and again it is Steve Craver.
Tulsa is just pinning their ears back and getting after it. You know, you lose that kind of yardage that Oklahoma lost on first down. Now it is all dictated by the defense. The defense is punching, the offense is trying to counterpunch. And Tulsa is just flat beating them at the line of scrimmage. Blitz picked up by running back, not effective enough on that snap.
And Cody Freeby on for the punt, stands on the goal line. Plenty of time, a high kick, got that wind at the back as well. Mills gets away from it, and look at this. In one kick, a flip for field position.
You ain't kidding. Wow, that is big. That's as good a special teams play as you're going to see. 70 yards. Are you kidding me? Let's look at the keys for Tulsa. Grist for Mills, he's had plenty of grist. 7 catches, 85 yards. They've baffled Bomar. AAA, they've gotten lined up. Alignment assignment adjustment, a big plus in every area for Tulsa in the first half. That's why it's a football game.
I mean, they literally flipped it here from the 15-yard line to the 15-yard line. Amazing. And Tulsa now comes out first to 10 on its own 15. But the Hurricane are saying, hey, we not only survived that first possession of Oklahoma, we made some great things happen. Now let's see if they can answer. Right up the middle where it's going to be tough sledding. As Parrish is stopped by Latimer.
Tell you, Dusty Dvorak is taking control of the interior of the line in the pits. Dusty Dvorak, big number 94, at that nose guard position, is just knocking the line of scrimmage backwards. He is getting into that center. He's taking double teams and walking them backwards. That's all man right there.
2nd down and 9, ball on the 16 now. Tulsa with it, trailing by 1. Smith drops it off. You heard it come right into your living room as Rufus Alexander hammering the Tulsa receiver on the play, Adams.
He's out. I think he might be knocked out. The ball came free. The ball came free and went out of bounds. I think that's a knockdown goes Frazier. That might be a knockout punch. I mean, that was a helmet-to-helmet. Woo! Plastic was rattling there. You got to check your dentures.
Man, he is not moving. As Adams, redshirt freshman from nearby Moore, Oklahoma.
Oh, I guess this shows Rufus Alexander's okay.
We'll take a break as that big hit has silenced this crowd here. And we'll get an update on Adams in just a moment. Wow, there is a great picture as Adams was motionless during our entire break here. But Terrian is up and walking off, and you thought he got knocked out.
I think he might have.
We're just hoping that's all it was, because when you see someone not respond, you always think the worst. And let's take a look at how it happened.
Well, watch the hit is going to hit him right in basically the temple area. Adams has the ball. Here comes Alexander. Boom, right in the temple. The ball's out. That's why I think he lost his senses, because he lost. I mean, the ball comes out. Boom, right there on the side. It's almost like you get hit in the temple, like a boxer hits you with that jab in the temple. This is more than a jab. That is just helmet to helmet, and the ball's out. I think it was a knockout punch. I think he might have been out for a while.
He does go out. Alexander delivered the hit, and it's 3rd and 9 now for Tulsa. On the 16. First possession, 3rd quarter. And the pass is complete, and a first down out at the 27-yard line. And as coming up with the grab that time was Moss. That is Idris Moss, the junior out of Alameda, California, and IU makes the tackle, 11-yard pickup.
I have a lot of respect for Smith. The blitz comes, defensive line wins, blitz comes, he gets crushed under duress. He throws a strike. I mean, that's just an outstanding play. IU got there, as well as the blitzer out of the secondary, Baker, and Smith just stood in there and threw a steep right. Courage.
Yeah, stand correct. Now you put the pressure on the quarterback, obviously not making the tackle. But a first down for Tulsa, the 27. And up the middle, let's go down to Jim Knox, see if he's got any more for us on Terrian Adams.
Yeah, exactly right, Bill. On the Tulsa sidelines right now. Terrian Adams being checked out by the Tulsa trainers. Walking, and what I was able to see, he was knocked out. He's walking a little woozy. They got him on the training table right now. It is doubtful he'll go back in. They're going to check him out thoroughly, but he did definitely get knocked out.
Knox, if you lose consciousness, you're looking at concussion minimally. I don't see him coming back in this football game. To me, it's just a heck of a toughness to get up and walk off the field on your own power.
It'd be a shocker if he returns. 2nd down and 8 from the 29. Smith unloads and complete out near the 34-yard line. As Charles Ramsey, sophomore, makes his first reception.
Tulsa's got that intermediate passing game going very, very well right now. They're gaining confidence. The longer they stay in this football game, and they are more than in this football game, the tougher the opponent becomes. And Oklahoma's got a tiger by the tail right now in Smith. Can't say enough about his leadership in the huddle and at the line of scrimmage and in the pocket, his toughness.
3rd and 3. Smith, who's 11 of 17 for 110 yards, lost this one to Mills. Flag is thrown as he is tackled near midfield.
Did he push off? Did Mills push off to get that separation? I mean, a flag was thrown. They're going to call offensive pass interference. I didn't really see anything defensive, but maybe they were grabbing him. But here he comes in motion as an H-back. Mills once again. Now he's going to run his route. Oh, he was grabbed. That's what the flag is. He didn't push off. He was grabbed. I mean, reaching out again, knowing he was beaten. I mean, Carter did it on the double move down by the end zone. He grabbed him again. That's going to be declined. They get more yards out of the play.
16 yards on the pickup as they sort it out here, and that'll make Smith 12 of 18 for 126 yards at 67% completion rate, and Mills with 8 for 101 yards.
I mean, I saw that left hand action, and I thought Mills may have just gotten a little
pass
push
interference on number 6 of the defense. The penalties decline. First down.
And you gotta get your Carter that was on that particular snap. You gotta get your hands off.
Great camera work, fellas. Hope you're enjoying it at home. What a game here. 7-6, 1st and 10 at midfield. And they run it right up the middle, across the 40, and down to the 37-yard line. There's a little bit different look from the University of Tulsa as DJ Wolf makes the tackle.
Oh, Tulsa's got a little swagger going. Tulsa right now is feeling confident. And look at the linemen get their job done. Everybody's sustaining contact, and the unblocked safety misses the tackle. All good running backs make the first guy miss. Here he is, right here. Unblocked. Carter is having a tough series. He gets called for pass interference, and then he misses unblocked in the hole. So the Oklahoma defense struggling right now.
Brandon Dials with that impressive work. It's 1st and 10 at the 36 now. Smith steps up, he scrambles, and comes back, gets a couple yards, and made the most of a bad situation there. First down line brought to you by Overstock.com. Visit Overstock.com today and start saving. It's all about the O.
Tulsa's offense is in a much better rhythm right now than Oklahoma's is. There's no question about it. And again, Mills is so impressive because Oklahoma knows he is their passing threat, period. And he's still got over 100 yards receiving on 8 catches.
This drive, 8 plays, 51 yards. Remember, it started on the Tulsa 15 after a 70-yard punt from the Sooners. Play action, Smith, and it is complete to a sliding Mills inside the 10-yard line. What a play!
Well, I'll tell you, Smith is a gutsy kid, and this is just finding the soft areas, the vulnerable areas in the zone. And now Mills lines up as a tight end on the line of scrimmage. He gets the clean inside release, and boy, full extension. I mean, the full extension fingertip catch. Are you kidding me? That is sweetness. He catches the back half of that football. Playa, right there.
P-L-A-Y-A or E-R, whatever you prefer. First and goal to go.
Big time.
Actually, they can get inside the 1 here. It's 1st and 10 from just outside the 10. And IU makes the tackle on the play. All right, Tulsa's problem, if there has been such a thing, is they've gotten 2 field goals, no touchdowns. Earlier, they went on a 4th and 1 and were denied and came up empty. And then near the end of the first half, they had to settle for a 22-yard field goal from Duvall.
Right.
He also hit on a 52-yarder. Here's the current status of this drive, as it's now 2nd down and 9 to go.
Yeah, red zone execution has been the fly in the ointment. Settling for field goals instead of touchdowns. Now, Tulsa's got to punch this one across the goal line.
Smith wants to throw, in trouble, unloads.
Wow.
Got a man, Parrish, 5, helmet rattler, and he is down near the 2-yard line.
Smith made just an unbelievable play athletically to get rid of the football. I thought he was sacked. And he gets the ball to Parrish, and then Parrish does his thing in the open field. Right now, Tulsa is possessed. Tulsa is playing at as high a level as they can play. They smell it. They smell the opportunity for success here. I mean, Smith, right here. I mean, that's a defense. He's sacked. No way. No, I'm not sacked. I'm going to get it out in the open field, and boy, big hit, and still extend the football for additional yards.
Parrish picks up his hat, puts it back on. He's the lone back. 3rd and 2. And he got maybe a yard. We'll see where they mark it. Now remember, it does kind of important now. They can get a first down without getting a touchdown. They're officially marking it on that play at the 2, but they're actually just outside of it. And
I think you kick and take the lead.
There's Smith showing how far. Just inches, according to the quarterback, Paul Smith.
You got to take the lead. I think you got to reward them, and I don't think you can go away from this drive without the lead. And the best way to do it is to pump it through the goalpost.
Yeah, as frustrated as you might be, we're so close to getting 7.
Right.
Get the lead first and trust your defense that so far has been outstanding. The defense has held Oklahoma to 72 yards. Tulsa has tripled that. 19-yarder by DeVault. It is good. The Golden Hurricane has the lead.
Well, Oklahoma's red zone defense has been the only positive for the Sooners in this football game. Their red zone defense has been strong. Tulsa's red zone offense has struggled. 3 field goals on the board, and right now they've got the lead. How big is that?
On FSN is brought to you by Dr. Pepper. One taste and you'll get it. And by Sports Clips, where guys win. And by Overstock, overstock.com. Underneath that water tower, a stunning score. 9-7 Tulsa with 5:36 to go in the 3rd quarter after a 7-minute, 14-second drive. DeVault's 3rd field goal of the day vaults Tulsa to a 2-point lead, 9-7.
Boy, you go on a 13-play drive, you'd like to finalize it with a touchdown. Had to settle for the field goal, but what a drive. 13 plays, over 7 minutes off the clock.
Short kick into the wind. It is taken by Smith at the 30, 40. And Smith gives a good field position at the 42. Earlier today, special spectators were welcomed here at the University of Oklahoma and got a special look at behind the scenes of Fox Sports Net and the television production that goes on within the truck. Jim Knox has more on our special spectators.
Yes, and these special spectators down on the field getting an up-close look at Oklahoma against Tulsa. This is Blake Rockwell, Executive Director of Special Spectators, and you guys had a great day today. It doesn't stop for you, Blake, does it?
No, it doesn't. We had a great day, visited with Coach Stoops in his office, had a great visit on the field, saw Legends Lobby. It's been a fantastic time for everyone.
And tonight you go to Boulder.
Tonight we go to Boulder. We have a group of about 100.
Adrian Peterson rambles all the way down to the Tulsa 16-yard line.
You know, this was just a key play. Oklahoma has to answer. Tulsa goes on a 13-play drive, taking over 7 minutes off the clock. How does Oklahoma respond? Here's how they respond. Give it to 28, and missed tackles, and the power and the speed of Adrian Peterson puts Oklahoma right back in the hunt. As they're in the red zone, immediately they answer in one play.
42 yards on the pickup by Adrian Peterson, 1st and 10 at the 16-yard line. Peterson again. Tulsa gang tackling down to the 10-yard line. Let's go back to Jim.
All right, Bill, real quick, Blake, tonight you're going to be in Boulder for more fun, right?
More fun. We've got the Colorado-New Mexico State game, which is going to be shown right here on FSN.
Right.
We've got a group of about 100 who are going to be attending that game. And I want to say a big thanks to FSN, Bob Steinfeld, the whole crew really helped today, as well as Joe Castiglione and everyone in the OU Athletic Department.
Thank you, Blake. As you can see, you guys having a good time, right? Okay, OU fans probably want us to stay here after the Adrian Peterson run. We'll kind of hang out for a little bit, but because of Tulsa fans leaving them in.
I thank Jim and Adrian Peterson. Fumbled as he goes out of bounds. Bunting making the stop there. Peterson's longest run of the short season, that 42-yard scamper that set him up in scoring position, and now just 2 yards shy of the century mark.
Yeah, it's amazing what a long run from scrimmage will do, and that was, you know, we talked about one of the keys for Tulsa was alignment assignment adjustment. I don't think they get lined up wrong, but they didn't carry out their assignment because too many missed tackles. Adrian Peterson ran through too many tackles, and they certainly didn't adjust to his speed, that's for sure.
3rd and 2, ball at the 8 for Oklahoma, trying to regain the lead. Peterson right up the middle of the right side, still on his feet, leaning forward, and down near the 1-yard line is Adrian Peterson, tackled by Nick Graham and Blackshot.
You know, the key on this play is you have your best offensive lineman, Davin Joseph, at the left guard position. Watch him pull the big boy. Here he comes. Here comes Davin Joseph around the horn. Boom. Gets his little kick-out block, and there's Peterson lowering his pads and getting as much as he possibly can. That's a nice play, bringing that left guard.
Peterson tumbles in, touchdown Oklahoma, Sooners back on top.
They responded.
Peterson gets his second score of the day, and now the Sooners lead it 13-9.
That's the thing about Adrian Peterson. As the game goes on, you know, you may throw him for a 2-yard loss. He picks up 3, no gain, picks up 1, boom, goes for 48. You never know which time that he has the ball under his arm that he's going to hurt you. You have to play every snap to the hilt.
Hartley for the point after, and it is good. 14-9 Sooners. Adrian Peterson's second score. Power. We'll be right back here on FSN. Just a 114-minute drive. Welcome back. College football Saturday on FSN. The Dr. Pepper Big 12 game of the week, and the Oklahoma Sooners are back on top here in Norman. Yeah, they'd like to add more to that trophy case here at the University of Oklahoma, but first things first, they need to get a win. After being bumped off by TCU last week, they found themselves down to Tulsa and then lickety-split. 1 minute, 14 seconds. Peterson, the 42-yard run that set up his touchdown, and now the Sooners, that Hyundai scoring drive, are back on top, 14-9 and kicking it off. Bill Land, Dave Lapham, Jim Knox with you.
And Bill, I think that Bob Stoops and his staff have to be very pleased with the response the Sooners showed. You know, facing the adversity of being down 9-7, they certainly stepped up.
Moss and Johnson are deep. Moss sees this one sail over his head out of the end zone, and Tulsa will have it 1st and 10 on its own 20-yard line. Tomorrow, it's a Fox NFL Sunday special edition as we reflect on the effects of Hurricane Katrina. First, JB visits with Brett Favre to talk about the devastation of his hometown. Terry Bradshaw returns to Louisiana to see the damage firsthand. Jimmy Johnson will talk with survivors at the Astrodome, and we follow the Saint star Joe Horn as he searches for a new home. It's Fox NFL Sunday Special Edition tomorrow, 11:30 a.m. Eastern. Here comes Tulsa. Now, how do they respond?
Exactly. Here now, the shoe's on the other foot. And you know, you look at Rufus Alexander out there running around hitting people like he is doing right now. All he suffered was a stinger. You know, you get that burner and it goes away.
Mills, the guy in motion, and the receiver. Well, he is sure-handed. Positions himself well, makes the grab. Jason Carter covering.
Got a little cramp going on. He's pulling those toes back. His calves are cramping. You know, at some point he has to. He is their passing attack. And here he is in motion, running that little route, stop, catch the football. Then he starts to cramp up. And he's still struggling with that a little bit. You see his size. If he were 6'5", he'd be probably at Oklahoma. And he's got a 3.9 GPA in the business school. He's a competitor on the football field and in the classroom, and trying to alleviate those cramps right now. That's how you do it. Is you bend those toes back and stretch those calves out.
So he tries to get loosened up. Corona miles away from ordinary factoid, if you will. Tulsa has scored 9 points today. In the 2 previous meetings versus Oklahoma was outscored 95-0. Tulsa fans will tell you, yeah, but in 96 we won here. And that's what they're driving off of. Well, they certainly going to need this guy back. Is trying to refuel right now.
Right. I mean, you have to drink so much water. So the fluids that you have to consume with what he's losing, it's almost like your belly gets too full. You can't absorb the fluids quickly enough, and you feel like you're drinking to you can't drink anymore. You have to continue to consume fluids. And boy, I'll tell you, Oklahoma didn't get him out of the game. Cramps did, and he'll be back. Back.
Let's go down to Jim Knox before the next play.
Hey guys, this could be a big factor in today's game because cramping occurs a couple days ahead of time. Keep in mind, athletes have to hydrate themselves a couple of days ahead of time before they get in the heat of the battle. So right now, no matter how much water Mills intakes, it could continue throughout the day.
10 receptions, 129 yards. Yeah, he'll be missed. Smith spinning, dives for the attempt, shy of the first down. It was a 2nd and 5. Latimer making the tackle as they stop him at the 28-yard line.
Yeah, Mills will return to action. There's no way I don't see him coming back into the game, but the cramps will come back as well. It's going to be off and on, off and on, off and on. He's going to be fighting it the rest of the afternoon. In fact, I think he just checked back in right now.
Tulsa sends 2 receivers wide to the near side. One to the top of your screen on a 3rd and 2 from the 28. Keppel, a man in motion. Smith on target. Couldn't make the reception. Would have been a first down, too, as Keppel couldn't hang on. Landon, a senior.
Okay, it was 3rd and short. Mills, how important is Mills on 3rd and 3? And Mills is off the field. Mills was not on the football field on this play. Mills would have been the one in motion catching this football. And I don't want to slight the young man Keppel, but the way Mills has shown himself, I think the chains would have moved, and Tulsa would still have the football. That's how big the cramps were.
4th and 2. Kindred boots it away. And taken by Holmes. Lindy at the 45-yard line where he stops. So Oklahoma, its 2nd possession, bang, goes right down and scores in a minute 14. Now they get it back with excellent field position again.
Got a Tulsa player injured at about the 47-yard line. Here we go with Adrian Peterson. Adrian Peterson has got such immense speed. He has got the breakaway speed that you're looking for, and he also has the power to break tackle. He is such a rare combination of speed and power. That's what makes him such an unusual phenomenon. As a true freshman to be a Heisman runner-up, it had never happened before. He did all kinds of things as a true freshman nobody had done before. He is unique. Got a knee injury, it looks like here. Looks like that left knee they're examining a little bit. Moving that left knee around, flexing it and contorting it some. Don't like to see that.
There have been some big hits in today's game.
Yeah, how many helmets have flown off? We've seen helmets flying off. We've seen footballs knocked out. Don't like to see this, not able to get off the field under your own power.
Morgan Guidry, the injured player, 6'3", 232, a senior out of Rusk, Texas. Came through Trinity Valley Community College. We haven't talked about the wind that has been a huge factor today in the kicking game. That was a 32-yard punt. And Oklahoma here in the 3rd quarter with the wind at its back for another 2:41. See if they take advantage of it.
That 70-yard punt was with the wind at his back.
Peterson trying to spin. He does. Got loose. 45-40. And then he takes on the punishment as he dives down near the 33-yard line.
Roy Roberts had him out in space one-on-one, Bill, and it was the double pirouette, the double spin, a whirling dervish in space. And Roy Roberts can't make the play. Adrian Peterson just bounces it to the outside. Here comes Roberts right here. Boop, boop, second spin, and away we go. Here we go, little pirouette again. I mean, that's an A in ballet, and he's got helmet and shoulder pads on. He is something else.
33 yards for the day, 20 for 128 for Peterson, and he gets another carry here. Tulsa trying to contain, and he is stopped near the 30. And Peterson, the sophomore from Palestine, Texas, who last year ran for 1,925 yards, 3rd in the nation as a freshman with 15 touchdowns. Slow to get on track last week. Bob Stoops was quick to say, hey, we don't need to point fingers. We're all responsible. Coaches need to coach better. Players need to play harder. Offensive line needs to get it together. The defense was pretty good, but they too gave up some big plays. And now Oklahoma trying to right its ship here in the second half. Peterson, after the fumble, Bomar picked it up, went it out, give it to 28, and a flag is tossed as he stopped at the 25.
I think you get a hold, and it might be on the big fella. And by the big fella, I mean the extreme big fella, George Robinson, 6'5", 360 pounds at the left tackle position. Davin Joseph is in there at left guard, and number 72 in that red jersey at left tackle will eclipse the sun. He will block all the light out of the doorway. That's a big man right there, 6'5", 360 pounds, and he can move. I mean, he is not sloppy at all. He is just a massive human being. He's got a huge frame.
Holding on number 72 of the offense.
But they did get
Penalty
him.
is 10 yards
And being a
and replay second down.
former offensive lineman, you just fell in love with him at first sight yesterday watching him, didn't you?
Oh, man.
The way he could move with that girth.
No question. He passes the eyeball test. And here he is coming out in space, and you get the nice tackle. You got the wrap. He wrapped the right leg right here, taking the right leg with the right hand. Take that leg down. That's a good takedown, but you can't do it particularly out wide open in the open field with the officials looking right at it. And there's Kevin Wilson, the offensive line coach, run game coordinator for this Oklahoma football team. Does a heck of a job, and he's going to love coaching this young man up.
And I think I identified that as Peterson on the run. That was Kewan Jones getting the run. And here Jones again gets the carry, and he bolts to the 30-yard line. And Kewan Jones does not get a lot of attention, but understand this guy came in here today with 2,062 career yards, flags thrown everywhere.
A little extracurricular, little talking after the play. Got to keep your poise. No extra pushing, no taunting, none of that good stuff. It's been a very, very well-played game in terms of clean physical hitting. Don't let it get chippy. And the officials are doing everything they can to take immediate control of it so it does not deteriorate, because it has been a physical football game, and Bob Stoops loves physical football games.
You know, they sort it out here as
maybe it's offset. I'd let it offset. Just say, okay, guys, no more offset. Let's play. Yeah, zip it and play. Exactly. Let your play do the talking. Keep your mouths closed.
Kewan Jones, of course, from Tulsa, as
we're going to call it on Tulsa.
That'll move it here for Oklahoma.
And Graham's going to be the guilty party with the late hit.
A dead ball personal foul on number 22 of the defense. Penalty is 15 yards, first down.
And there it is, a little push. A little celebratory rise to his feet. Nothing wrong with that, but you get a little frustration because you got a guy who's been working his tail off, Nick Graham, in coverage on Wilson, and involved right there. And he's like, I don't want to see any celebration, but you got to keep your poise. Don't do anything silly to hurt your team.
1st and 10 from the 15 for Oklahoma. And Peterson back in the game. Staggers down to the 11-yard line. Blackshire and Germany making the play.
Oklahoma, Bill, has 2 true freshmen playing offensive tackle right now. That bodes well for the future, and they are massive. Brandon Braxton, 6'6", 318 pounds. George Robinson, 6'5", 360. Right and left tackle are true freshmen.
2nd and 6, ball on the 11.
Uh-oh, a bad snap.
And loose on the deck. Tulsa says they've got it. A huge play this could be. Don't think they are going to end up with it, though. Wow. Oklahoma football.
That's the second snap that's hit the ground. Center quarterback exchange. They haven't done it much together. Chris Chester is the new center, and Bomar's the new quarterback. And they had a fumble exchange in the first half, and they had one in the second half in the red zone. Chris Chester's very athletic. Former tight end. He's got great feet. Bomar's got to make sure the ball gets up there, and Chester has to hit him in the hands. Boy, Peterson comes up with that ball. Strong hands and wrists.
Karatapian nearly came up with it coming in there on the dive. That's the end of the 3rd quarter. Tulsa and Oklahoma locked up in a dandy here. It's 14-9 Oklahoma on FSN. Where you're watching the Dr. Pepper Big 12 Game of the Week, the Hurricane and the Sooners. We're back with the 4th in a moment. near the 12-yard line. Jones out of Tulsa and Jenks High School is part of that long-running rivalry between the two high school powers in the state, Jenks and Union. The last 9 state titles been won by those two schools. Jenks winning the other night 44-40 in another thriller was played up in Tulsa. Kewan with 32 career touchdowns.
Well, it's good that Tulsa's red zone defense bowled their necks and limiting this to nothing but a field goal opportunity, because it's still a 1-score game if it's converted. It's still an 8-point game, touchdown and 2-point conversion.
29-yarder for Hartley, and his attempt is good. So the Oklahoma offense responds with a TD and a field goal to start this second half and the first play of the fourth quarter. We'll be right back. Oklahoma with a 17-9 lead following the field goal by Hartley, a 29-yarder, 14-19 to go here in the fourth quarter. 7 plays, 44 yards on the drive that stalled. The Hyundai scoring drive for the Sooners. Bill Land, Dave Lapham, Jim Knox with you. Steve Craigthorpe saying his team had a great opportunity to him at the half when they trailed by just 1, and then they got the field goal that put them on top 9-6, and Oklahoma's answered on its last 2 possessions.
Yeah, they came back. That 9-7 lead quickly went away.
Moss and Johnson are again deep. Let's see what happens with Oklahoma kicking into the wind here. See if Tulsa has a chance of a return. They get good field position if they make the grab, and they do. Moss at the 18, 20. Shakes a tackler, looking upfield, 25, and now to the 30, and across there for Tulsa. Later today, our exciting tripleheader continues after the College Football Saturday Kickoff Show presented by Kyocera. Boise State battles Oregon State, followed by New Mexico State taking on Colorado. And all later today, 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific, only on FSN. Joel Myers, Gary Reasons, John Radigan, the guys be out there in Boulder as the Buffaloes of Gary Barnett get after it tonight in Colorado.
What a game last week against Colorado State.
Oh, that's turned into a classic, hasn't it?
Sure
Talk about
has.
interstate deals.
Let's hopefully Mills is back out in the field. I'm trying to locate him. He's got 10 catches. Smith has 15 completions, and 10 of them have gone to Mills.
First and 10 from the 30 for Smith. Season opening. Smith, 35, diving near the first down territory, and very close on the 40-yard line.
That kid's a competitor now. He's just salty. Smith's a very, very competitive young man. And the key on this is to make a quick decision. And he did. He saw the Red Sea part, and he said, you know what? I can make some yards here. And he certainly did. Very, very positive play. Moved the chains. He's made excellent decisions. He's thrown the ball to good spots under duress. Has not put his team in a bad spot with turnovers. He's played a very, very good football game, managed the game brilliantly.
10 yards on that pickup. Remember, he went out with a concussion last week after briefly playing against Minnesota. Keeps it here, nothing doing. Smith redshirted last year, and then his freshman year, though, in 03, he came on in relief of James Killian, who was just recently, I'm not sure, I don't think he made the Chiefs roster.
Right.
And he had an outstanding game against San Jose State that year and played in 8 games. So he does have some experience, it's just he's been a little rusty.
And you saw a glimpse of Mills there on the sideline with the helmet off. I mean, he's standing on the sideline, eager to get back into the action, but obviously those cramps haven't totally alleviated themselves, or he'd be on the field.
2nd and 11 after the loss of 1. He operates from the 39 this time, Smith. And it is incomplete again.
Roughing the quarterback, though. Late hit on the quarterback. It's going to cost Oklahoma.
Well, after he threw the football, IU, I believe, CJ IU will be the culprit.
That's just, you can't make plays like that for self-gratification. That's going to hurt your football team. You have to be smarter than that.
Roughing the passer on number 99 of the defense. He launched and hit the quarterback in the head, helmet to helmet. 15 yards, automatic first down.
Left his feet and went head-to-head, helmet to helmet with the quarterback. And, of course, we've said many times, Smith coming off concussion. Watch right here. He's going to leave his feet and go head-to-head, helmet to helmet, right underneath the chin. And that's a no-no.
OU 5 penalties for 49 yards. Tulsa 5 for 37 today. Last week, the Sooners had 12 penalties for 62 yards. So that's certainly something they're going to want to clean up as they get closer to Big 12 play. 1st and 10, ball on the 45. And around. Moss not going anywhere. Oklahoma staying home on the play, and a loss on the play of around 5. See where they mark it.
Nice job by Wolf. Wolf was right there. He played his responsibilities very, very smartly. It must be interesting for him because his roles have totally reversed. He was the guy that was out in space trying to make people miss. Now he's the guy not being allowed or not allowing the miss. There's Mills back in the football game.
Garrett Mills back in. They have not done anything since he left.
You're right.
It's 2nd and 13 via the penalty, the fact that they're at the 48 of Oklahoma. And Smith. Nearly intercepted. Crowd reacting to Latimer's play.
Latimer had a big game last week as well with 15 tackles against TCU. Stunt comes clean, and Latimer, he's gonna have nightmares about that one. That one hit him right in the breadbasket.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda. First Down Line is brought to you by Overstock.com. Visit Overstock.com today and start saving. It's all about the oat. 13:06 to go in the ball game, and Tulsa trying to pick it back up. Down 8. 3rd and 13. They're on the 48-yard line of the Sooners, and the crowd starts roaring for Oklahoma. Smith, and it is complete across the middle. A first down inside the 33-yard line. And
Jackson.
Yeah, what a play.
Smith made an unbelievable throw. This guy's Gumby. Smith has been contorted into the most unusual positions while he's throwing the football. For him to throw the ball that accurately while he's being bent and twisted is phenomenal. The dude is a Gumby quarterback, and he can throw the ball straight.
Jackson, the sophomore, makes the reception. He's a sophomore out of Louisville, Kentucky, and picks up 16 yards on the play.
Look at the numbers, 16 of 24, a lot under duress. He's 2 out of 3, 67%. That's accuracy, and a lot of it in the heat of severe pressure. I admire this kid big time.
Smith keeps the football this time. Back to the line of scrimmage. The Rufus cheers as Alexander in on the play once again.
Alexander's had an interesting game. You know, he dinged his shoulder up, and then he had a knockout hit. Boy, did he make a play on the sideline, separating football player from football.
That was Adams, the player that took the blow, and thankfully he got up, walked off all right, but obviously knocked out on the play and not to return, I would think. 2nd and 10, ball on the 32-yard line now. Tulsa. 32 of the Hurricanes. Smith gonna keep again, looking for some help there, and he dives forward. I'll tell you what, this guy may have had a concussion last week, but he is showing no concern whatsoever for his body or his head, is he?
You are absolutely right. I mean, reckless abandon. He is a competitor. Capital C on that chest for a competitor. He makes a decision. Good coverage, nowhere to go. Pressure wasn't a problem, but he's got nowhere to throw the football. It's just, you know what? I can pick up more yards running it than I can trying to force a play. That's what he's done so well. Made great decisions and managed this game so remarkably well.
And a timeout is called here. Can Tulsa come back? Well, they're well on their way. 3rd and 3 when we return following this brief timeout. Welcome back to Norman at Gaylord Family Oklahoma Memorial Stadium. Owen Field, Bill and Dave Lappin, Jim Knox with you. Tulsa today, DeVault, a 52-yarder, one of 3 field goals.
And then watch the catch Mills makes. Now, you kidding me? Concentration. And Smith, there he is, Gumby, getting the ball up. And look at the hitting that's taking place today. I mean, that's what's been going on. Have to settle for another field goal after that great play. Turn quarterback, potential quarterback sack into field goal. Look at Smith. Over 200 yards he's accounted for, 211 yards on the day. He's going to sleep well tonight. In fact, he may be asleep on the bus ride back to campus. You can't blame him. He has worked hard.
3rd and 3 at the 25. Big play for the Hurricanes. Sooners bring it. Flag is thrown near the line of scrimmage as Smith is sacked at the 35-yard line. Rufus Alexander in on the play once again.
Let's see what this flag is all about. Can't really see much by body language here. Boy, Oklahoma brought the heat that time, but I think it may be going against Oklahoma.
Offsides, number 58 of the defense.
Wow.
Penalty is 5 yards.
Thibodeau.
Yardage is enough for a first down.
Calvin Thibodeau, the senior from Houston, jumped.
Calvin Thibodeau on the highlight we saw of Smith making the throw on the highlight package to the goal line. He missed the sack on that play, but now he basically nullifies a sack by Alexander by lining up offside. Not jumping, lining up offside. Look in, see where the football is, make sure that your smush isn't hanging over that thing into the neutral zone. Get your face mask back.
Instead of 3rd and 3, 1st and 10 at the 20, and Tulsa's still alive here. The handoff to Dials, didn't get much there, just across the 20. DJ Wolf and Alexander. Here's Tulsa's situation. They've scored 3 times today. Oklahoma scored 3 times. Tulsa's done it with field goals. Oklahoma's got a pair of touchdowns with a field goal.
Absolutely, and that's always a big key to the game, red zone execution. And here Tulsa finds themselves again on the cusp of the red zone, right there. What will they do with this opportunity? It is still a 1-score game. Touchdown, 2-point conversion, new game.
And of course, if the drive stalls, come back with DeVault for a field goal, try to cut it to 5. Smith trying to set up the screen to Jackson, and it is complete. He is just shy of the first down. Needed to get to the 10, and he falls near the 11 with Latimer there. They set that up nicely, though.
They sure did, and Dvorak labeled Smith. Smith got hit again. I bet 70% of his completions have been while he's being crushed. Look at this one. Releases the ball, Dvorak drills him, and he is so accurate with his body mechanics being, not what you'd like. Falling away from the line of scrimmage, twisting and bending his body, but the guy still throws the ball accurately. It's incredible.
3rd and 2 officially at the 12. Mills slides in motion. Now slips out. He's wide open. Mills, and he is rocked out of bounds near the 6-yard line. 1st and goal for Tulsa.
How can you lose track of Mills?
Unbelievable.
To me, you have to put 3 guys on him. Mills limping around. Those cramps still a problem. He's trying to stretch his left calf out right now as we speak. He starts in motion, then reverses it. Here we come back. They lose track of him because of the motion and the reverse of the motion. How do you lose track of Mills? Catches it, and Wolf knocks him out of bounds.
Coaches at Tulsa, Charlie Stubbs, the coordinator on the offense, and Steve Craigthorpe, the head coach, saying, hey, he's got to touch the ball a bunch. He's made 11 receptions today. And Smith has not concentrated just on him, though. You see that 7 different receivers. So it's 1st and goal at the 6. Jackson trying to slip through. He does! And Tulsa scores to pull within a pair.
Man, that was a determined run right there.
Wow.
That surprises me that Smith has utilized 7 different receivers. And that is moving the football around to all quadrants of the field and then finishing. Tulsa scores a red zone touchdown. It takes them their 4th opportunity, but it's there. Now you go for the tie right here. You go for that 2-point conversion because a field goal still puts you in the lead, whether you kick the extra point for 1 or not.
A lot comes up, different situations, go for 2, go for 1, and they all got their charts.
Right.
To me, you say, you know what? You just play the game until you get to the 4th quarter.
Yep.
Now you got decisions to make, and this one doesn't seem to be that difficult.
Exactly.
Illegal formation on the offense. There were only 6 players on the line of scrimmage. Penalties 5 yards.
Wow.
Still first down.
No touchdown.
Didn't see the flag.
Didn't see the flag either.
Beg your pardon, folks. Neither did this crowd.
No.
Because it got deathly quiet
and
here.
Neither did Steve Craigthorpe.
No.
Everybody's stunned.
They were deciding already what play we're going to run for the 2-point conversion.
Yeah. 6 men on the line of scrimmage. You have to have 7 to make it a legal formation. That touchdown is off the board.
Critical mistakes by both teams, and certainly that one literally wipes points off the board for the Hurricanes.
Wow, that is stunning. I How do you respond to that?
Smith in trouble, looking, and throws it away.
Well, we talked about a big key for Tulsa, AAA, alignment, assignment, adjustment. Didn't get lined up right. You only lined 6 men up in the line of scrimmage instead of 7. It cost you a touchdown. You have to have 7 men up on the line of scrimmage. Anything less than that is not a legal formation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's off the line of scrimmage. Motion man, quarterback, running back. Not 7 men on the line of scrimmage. But they only have 10 men on the field. I didn't see an 11th guy.
Second down and goal from the 11 now. Smith back to throw.
Wow.
Complete.
Oh!
Fumble. Tulsa's recovered, I believe, and it looks like it's right on the goal line. No signal yet.
Mills fumbled and he's still cramping. Mills is still grabbing his calf.
And
he caught the football.
Flying everywhere. Oklahoma with a player down. Bug is the man that I believe recovered it.
I'm gonna get you. Knocked the ball out of Mills' hands. I mean, he's the one that knocked the ball out, and Mills is still cramping on his backside. He makes a great catch, and as he's trying to score, the ball gets knocked out of his possession, and he starts immediately cramping. Well, that's a great catch. Are you kidding me? The concentration that day. Ball knocked out. Wolf puts his helmet right on the football. Great hit by Wolf. But Tulsa comes up with the ball.
I think it's Ryan Bug 83 that comes up with the ball.
Man, Wolf, great ball, helmet right on it. And what a fortuitous bounce right there. Are you kidding me?
Unbelievable.
Man, but that's just, he's selling out, cramping up, leaping to try to split defenders, getting into the end zone. Wolf knocks it out right to the teammate. I mean, just bounces right up in the breadbasket of Bug.
So Mills is helped off cramping again. DJ Wolf was the injured player for Oklahoma. And Tulsa's going to get the ball, I mean, as close as you can possibly get to without scoring.
And Wolf's hurt.
Yeah, Wolf was down for a long time there.
Wolf's, you know, he's got a problem with that left arm.
Man, what a game here in Norman. Two teams just battling it out. We've had huge hits, great plays, gutty performances, and it comes down to a 3rd and goal from inside the 1. There it is for Tulsa. They're down 8. 9:14 to go. Smith tries to squirt in. Flag is thrown.
Wow. Did Oklahoma line up offsides? I mean, Tulsa had to have 7 men on the line of scrimmage that time. Both officials on the opposite sidelines.
Touchdown.
Touchdown. They did line up offsides.
They signal touchdown, and that ought to stand this time.
You know, and let's see what, yeah, right there jumping. Definitely Dusty Dvorak jumping, trying to anticipate the snap count. He jumps early.
Offsides on number 94 of the defense. Penalties declined. Touchdown.
So Smith, the 1-yard plunge. And those Tulsa fans, it's a hearty bunch in one little itty-bitty corner of the stadium here. The rest of the place is drenched in crimson and cream. And those Golden Hurricane fans all the way down at the other end said, all right, we need 2 more to tie it here.
And Steve Craigthorpe's got to play. He's got a 2-point conversion play. Let's see what it is. I would think that it would involve 20.
Smith rolls out. Puts it up in the end zone. Incomplete. Incomplete on the 2-point conversion. Oklahoma maintains the 2-point lead.
Boy, here's Mills. Cramping, fighting, struggling. Ball in the air. Bug recovers. Boy.
By Sonic, it's not just good, it's Sonic good. By Johnsonville Brats, welcome to Heaven on a Bun. Welcome to Johnsonville. And by Overstock.com.
You know,
what a game.
In this game, Bill, Tulsa right now has had the ball for 14 minutes and 40 seconds more than Oklahoma. They're basically saying, playing keep away. They're saying, we're going to keep the ball for a quarter. You only play 3 quarters this game. We're playing 4. I mean, it's unbelievable, the time of possession. But big plays by Adrian Peterson and better execution in the red zone have given Oklahoma the lead.
Kickoff taken on the 5-yard line. Wilson pushing. A flag is thrown. And another one after the tackle is made at the 25-yard line.
We get a tackle, instead of a block, you have a tackle. Oklahoma, illegal block in the back. It's going to cost them field position here. Oklahoma's going to be starting inside their 10 again, or around their 10. Illegal block in the back at about the 19-yard line. Takedown. Special teams haven't been special today for Coach Stoops.
Nullifies a 20-yard return. Travis Wilson has been held under wraps today. His contributions have been through the kick return game.
Yep.
As Tulsa defense, well, both defenses have played very well for the most part here this afternoon.
And tip of the cap to Nick Graham, the cornerback.
An illegal block in the back on number 39 of the receiving team. That penalty is declined. Holding number 16 of the receiving team. That penalty will be enforced half the distance from the spot of the foul. First down.
All right, we'll sort that out now for a Dr. Pepper game break. Let's go to Bill Jones.
Great matchup in Ann Arbor. Notre Dame leads Michigan 17-3. Chad Henne to Mario Manningham, the true freshman, for the touchdown. Michigan cuts the lead to 17-10. Just 2 minutes left in the game. Bill?
Does coaching make a difference?
And I'll tell you what, they got a guy, Charlie Weiss, who might be as brilliant a play caller as there has ever been in this game. I mean, he is something else. He is. Tom Brady can talk about Charlie Weiss for years about his football abilities.
All right, right here, Oklahoma up 2 with the ball. 1st and 10 from the 8-yard line, looking for some breathing room, and you can figure they're going to give it to Adrian Peterson, who prior to that carry 134 yards. Let's go down to Jim Knox.
All right, right now, Bill, we're looking at Garrett Mills on the bench right now with a cold towel around his neck. They just took it off. He's double-fisting a couple of Gatorade bottles, really trying to work those cramps out. Want to answer a quick email from Steven. He says it's tight on the sidelines. How close is it? I marked it out, Steven, for you. It's actually 10 feet, and then right here you got the OU coming down on the Tulsa bench, but a lot of them right now, as you can imagine, fairly quiet, guys.
And Knox, you got another cramper coming your way. Linebacker Nick Bunting is cramping on the field. He'll be joining Mills. So their best linebacker, he's cramping in his right calf. Mills is cramping in both of his calves. You know, Bunting, the defense hasn't been on the field all that much. They've only had 18 minutes time of possession. You can see why Mills is cramped being on the field for almost 33 minutes.
Well, look what Tulsa's missing today. They announced Ashlyn Davis, if you haven't been with us throughout their record-setting kick returner, suspended for conduct detrimental to his team. Boy, he's got to be aching that he's messed up and missing this one. And then a guy who they thought could be their best defensive player has not been ruled eligible. Kendrick Alexander has been denied eligibility because of lack of progress toward a degree in some classwork that he was trying to take care of. You talked about Mills. Bunting is their probably best defender, and yet they're within 2. Oklahoma on 2nd down, Peterson needing 4, and he got that and more out to the 20-yard line. And first down, Oklahoma. Our Aflac trivia question today. 1969, Oklahoma running back Steve Owens won the Heisman Trophy. Name the 3 quarterbacks to finish 2, 3, and 4 in Heisman balloting.
Boy, this is a big drive right here. They get the ball at the 9-yard line, got to punch it out of there because it's a 2-point game. Can't 1, 2, 3 and punt there, and Adrian Peterson stepped up large.
1st and 10. Oklahoma would like to take it and just stuff it right down Tulsa's throat and punch it in and go up by 9 and leave Tulsa very little time to work with. Bunting and Evans making the tackle that time on just a 1-yard gain. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Clock becomes a factor. 7 minutes and 50 seconds and counting. But Oklahoma needs, right now, their goal in the huddle, talking about a long drive and scoring points, eating the rest of the clock up.
Tulsa's out offense, the Sooners, 287 to 181. Peterson shakes the tackler.
Grab the shoe.
Yeah, and that shoe ends up down near the goal line. He's finally brought down around the 20. And a huge 3rd and long coming up for the Sooners. Coleman and Evans were there to wrap him up.
Yeah, I think Chamberlain's the one that pulls his shoe off. Chamberlain's in the backfield. It could be tackle for loss, but he's trying to grab me. All he gets is the left shoe. And even though Peterson blew a tire, he's still going. And Chamberlain takes that left tire and throws it to the goal line. So that's one way to get Peterson out of the game, rip his shoe off. Look at those numbers. 26 carries. Last year, he carried the ball 339 times, more than anybody in the country.
3rd and 10. Bomar escapes from the pocket. He's got the first down and scrambles out of bounds at the 31-yard line. It's that athletic ability is what excites the Tulsa, the Oklahoma coaches, and obviously this huge crowd.
You're exactly right, Bill. And, you know, sometimes you have to create when the play breaks down. And here it breaks down. He feels the pressure, and he sees the green pastures. He feels the rushes behind him, so he tucks it and says, I'm going to make something happen. His lineman pushed the rush far enough past where he says, linebackers are far enough away with my speed, they're not going to be able to close on me. Quick decision, good decision.
Sets him up 1st and 10, 36. The clock will start on ticking again here. 6:49. Now the pitch back again. And Peterson. Tire repaired. Keeps on motoring. Evans makes the stop.
You know, this is an area, Bill, right now where Oklahoma wants to establish that attitude, you know, what the team is all about. The big boys up front pound the football. Have an All-American Heisman Trophy runner-up at running back. Come off the football, big offensive lineman. Finish blocks and let Adrian Peterson melt the clock.
2nd and 5 now. Peterson. Boy, what an opening he got there. Took advantage of it out to midfield. That'll move the chains again as we approach the 6-minute mark here in Norman. Graham makes the tackle for Tulsa.
Boy, Adrian Peterson is so gifted, and when the offensive line comes off the ball, like the group is right here on this play, everybody's picked up. And look, Adrian Peterson is making his first cut well past the line. There's the first cut. Well past the line of scrimmage. 6 yards down the football field. Instead of making his first cut in his own backfield. Get the man started, he will pay.
1st and 10 at midfield, out of the gun, fumble. Bomar picks it up. See if he can make it happen again. He slips another tackler, and a flag is thrown all over the place as he dances out of bounds near the 48 of the Hurricane.
Boy, are they going to call Runnels for an illegal block? I thought he just had a good block. I don't know if they're calling him for an illegal block on the sideline or not, but he had a peel back that they are going to call for a block in the back.
Yeah, it was seen by more than one.
Yeah. I thought Runnels, you know, sometimes the defenders turn their back to you. You know, and you have to, the official has to see the whole play, not just the end of it. If he's in position to hit the guy in the front and the guy turns his back to you, you're just exposed there. I don't know if that's what took place or not.
The illegal block in the back by number 38 of the offense. Penalty is 10 yards, and it's still 1st down.
And Runnels, an honorable mention all-conference pick 2 years ago. He is known as just a terrific blocker. He very seldom runs the ball. Didn't run it at all last year. He is an adequate receiver.
Right.
But he is the guy to go ahead and knock folks down, and certainly takes a lot of pride in that.
He is #1 on a lot of NFL teams' draft boards at the fullback position because of ability that you mentioned, Bill, to catch the ball as well as block people. And right now, here's the attitude. I formation, pound some folks.
1st and 20. Tulsa will have to stiffen if they're going to have an opportunity. And Peterson stopped by Blackshire near the 47-yard line. Clock ticking, 5:20, 5:19 here.
You look at Adrian Peterson, 339 carries last year with a bad shoulder. Has surgery in the offseason. Carrying the football a bunch today. You know, at some point you have to, I know they're trying to spell him a little bit. They're trying to give him some time off with Jones carrying the ball. They're going to have to be judicious with Peterson some.
2nd and 13. Peterson spins and almost gets the first down. So they go from 1st and 20 to down to a 3rd and short. Bobby Klink made the tackle on the play.
It's because of 28. The skill of 28 and the offensive line getting him started. You see that right ankle heavily taped. He's got that spat going, but boy, he's picking him up and putting him down. That's going to be a scary, here you are. You're in the open field. You're the safety. You're going to make the tackle. And you got a guy that can do a bunch of things to make you miss in space. That's a pretty good job right there in the open field by Klink.
30 carries, 179 yards for Peterson. He's at a 33 and a 42-yarder today. Peterson again reaching with a football, and now it's loose. and Tulsa does not recover it.
Wilson fell on it.
But it's not going to be a first down because it looks like it's marked near the 39. Travis Wilson coming up with the football when Peterson knows he had it.
Now what do? The old Oklahoma offensive line, you go for it on fourth down and you play keep away. And that's what Bob Stoops wants to do. And you got to have the ball in the other hand. Peterson has the ball in the wrong arm. Should be in the left arm, away from the defender, the body of the defender. But Wilson saves it. Now, do you try to pin him inside the 10-yard line with 3.5 minutes to go? Or do you hammer him on fourth down, convert, and then you can eat the rest of the clock up, hopefully, and genuflect and get in that victory formation? Decision time for Bob Stoops.
And a timeout is called here with 3:37 remaining in the football game. Stay with us on FSN.
And Notre Dame holds on to beat Michigan 17-10. The Irish are 2-0. Now Bill Land and Dave Lapham in Norman.
All right, thank you, Jones and Jones. Taking care of business in the FSN studios. Bill and Dave here. Jim Knox roaming the sidelines. Here's our situation. The clock has changed. There's now 3:13 remaining. What happened was after that play with the fumble, they never restarted the clock. Right. And Bob Stoops said, "Oh, wait a minute." So timeout was called. It was charged to Oklahoma, but then they recognized their problem and they took 24 seconds off the clock. But 4th and 1.
Here's what they're going to, they run behind Davin Joseph with Adrian Peterson, their best players.
Peterson may go to the house. 25-20. Broken another one. What a run. Adrian Peterson. Man. Can you say ball game? 41 yards.
Special player. Will not be denied. The heart of a champion right there, Adrian Peterson. Would not go down. Would not be denied. Amazing. Kevin Wilson loves it. All you got to do is give him an inch. Kevin Wilson realizes that. You let him get past the line of scrimmage, he will do damage.
All right, the all-important point after to give them a 9-point lead is successful here by Hartley. And it's a 9-point game with 3:04 to go. Thank you, Adrian Peterson, is what Sooner fans are saying.
Man, just Adrian Peterson and Davin Joseph. They pull Davin Joseph. Unblocked guy, Peterson runs him over. And now trying to knock the ball out, Adrian Peterson says, none of that. And now I'm going to just stiff arm you away from the play. I mean, out the open
people are going to say later, I should have tackled it.
Roberts right there, unblocked. He's got him one-on-one. Can't get it done. Now you're trying to punch the football out of there. Doesn't get it done. Karatapian, and then, boy, at the end, Blackshire, he's saying, you know what, I'm going to carry you. Run him over. Now you're not going to punch the ball out. I'm holding on to the ball. That was a good thought, though. And then I'm going to finish you with a stiff arm and take it to the house. What a play.
Because at that point, punching the ball was your last hope.
Exactly. It was a smart play.
Because he obviously had the first down, 3:04 to go. And certainly Oklahoma all but locks it up here. Tulsa will have to get a quick score and then get its way back into it.
Karatapian was smart. I mean, that was a quick decision. That was a very heady football decision. And he almost knocked it out of there. He did move the ball a little bit in Adrian Peterson's right arm, but he was not going to lose that pig. There's no way he was going to spit the pig up right then. And well, man, he just said, I'm taking it to the house.
Folks are wondering after last week's 63-yard 22 carry performance, could he get his way back onto that Heisman board? Well, certainly with runs like that and the 42-yarder earlier and the 33, he's certainly going to get some notice, because what an afternoon for Adrian Peterson. And you also talk about when he gets them, with 220 yards on the day and 3 touchdowns for the Sooners.
Poor Roy Roberts. One time Adrian Peterson double spun away from Roy Roberts. Another time he just ran him over.
Here's the short kick into the wind. Moss brought down at the 27. There's another effect of not having Davis. You don't have your game breaker to get a quick one for you either if you're Tulsa. Now, Adrian Peterson, he's had some great games. Last season, take a look, 183 with Oregon. That 225 in the Cotton Bowl against the Longhorns.
That got him the Heisman, and this cemented the Heisman. Two Big 12 rivals. He did a job against both of them. And that's some serious effort right there, and he follows it up today with another game of that caliber. And this, the game clincher, unbelievable. Unblocked man, Karatapian can't punch it out, and then Adrian Peterson will not be denied. He said, there's no way, Bobby Blackshire, you're not going to take me down before I take you through the goal line.
220 for him. Tulsa needs to answer in a hurry. Come out throwing the football. Mills on the reception at the 32-yard line, fighting the cramps and all. Latimer and Ingram make the tackle as it'll be second and about 4. As you take a look at our Overstock.com first down line, brought to you by Overstock.com, your online outlet. It's all about the O. And again, near the first down, Onyenagetche makes the tackle on the play.
You know, the guys that I really admire, there are so many guys' efforts in this football game, but Smith at quarterback, Mills as a receiver for Tulsa, unbelievable efforts, amazing. And Smith is a little worse for the wear right now. I mean, this poor kid has been hit a bunch. I mean, a bunch of times. He's taken a physical beating out there and just keeps jumping back up. And then, of course, Peterson. I mean, the guys that we thought had to step up, we talked about at the beginning of the show, Mills and Peterson, man, did they ever.
Smith trying to catch up with Mills again on a 1st and 10 from the 37. Time for our Aflac trivia answer.
I think Big Ten quarterbacks, Rex Kern, Mike Phipps, guys like that, and of course, the Manning, Archie Manning.
And Ole Miss. Phipps at Purdue.
Rex Kern at Ohio State. Archie Manning, now better known as dad of Peyton and Eli.
Yeah, how about that? And Archie was great.
He was great, yeah. What a family. What a family of quarterbacks. Peyton Manning, arguably the face of the NFL.
2nd and 10 at the 37 for the Hurricane. They trail by 9, 2:18 to go. Smith unloads, and it is complete for a first down at the 48-yard line. Monroe Nichols makes the grab.
You know, the one thing that I know Tulsa doesn't want to hear this right now, but however this game ends, you have to walk out of here thinking we're going to compete well in our conference. This bodes well for Conference USA matchups.
1st and 10 at the 48. And the completion to Moss. He scampers out of bounds, picks up 7 or 8. I'm going to get you there on that play. Yeah, what's ahead for these two? As you take a look at what's ahead for us on SN, Tulsa has got at North Texas, become a perennial bowl team, and the Mean Green will host that game next weekend. And meanwhile, Oklahoma's got to travel out to the Rose Bowl, meet UCLA before taking on Kansas State in its Big 12 opener.
And they got a lot of work to do. Oklahoma still got a lot of work to do to get to where they want to be for sure.
2nd and 1 for the Hurricane at the 43. Not worried about running it, though. They've got to score.
Wow,
fumble on the tackle, and Oklahoma has recovered.
The fumble was forced by the defensive end who came on a stunt, Alan Davis. They brought in some new bodies, and Alan Davis came on a twist, and he hit Smith from behind him, and the ball popped out of there.
Well, with the injuries to Burdine and also to Williams, they've been looking for help at the defensive end, and Alan Davis getting a shot. Redshirt freshman from Colleyville, Texas, comes up with a big play.
And you have to feel badly for Smith. I mean, his ball security has been outstanding, but there's coming in from behind and punching that football out of there. That's just taking advantage of an opportunity. Alan Davis, his eyes got big, and he knocked the ball free.
He caused it. And the Sooners now come back. Peterson appears to be done for the day with 1:55 to go. Tulsa has 2 timeouts remaining here. Oklahoma 1st and 10 from its own 44. Kewan Jones will handle the football. Tulsa will call a timeout here, giving it 1 left. Clock stops with 1:44 remaining in the football game.
Well, with the young offensive line and mistakes that can be made up front, he had a mistake. He had the right guard pulling left, the left guard pulling right, and they almost collided in the backfield. You get the Hall of Shame for doing that. They had a little assignment error there.
Well, Adrian Peterson, you say give him enough touches and he'll get his yards. Boy, was that the case today.
Boy, look at him drag people, finish. I mean, he shows the power. Here he is pushing the pile. So he's got that going on. And then he shows the speed. Once he gets to the perimeter, he's as fast as a lot of people in the country. And that's what makes him so unique. He's got that rare combination of power and breakaway speed. There's the power again. I'm going to run over you, then I'm going to run away from you, then I'm going to stiff arm you. I mean, he showed everything that a running back needs to have, running over Roberts, and then, you know, Karatapian can't punch it out. And then he says, Bobby Blackshire, you're not taking me down. I mean, you can't see a better game-winning play than that one on fourth down.
The clincher. And this OU offense that ends up, or at this moment, 270 yards, actually relied on its defense to hold Tulsa to nothing but field goals through the first 3 quarters and controlled the football game at least by the scoreboard, if not by the yardage or time of possession.
You're exactly right. Red zone defense kept Oklahoma in the game until they got into a little bit of a rhythm offensively.
2nd and 10 for the Sooners here. Tulsa most likely will use its final timeout here. We'll see. Well, we're talking about defense as Laura makes the stop there. Our Cooper Tires defensive player of the game, hard to argue with Rufus Alexander.
Boy, he got nicked up a little bit, had a little stinger, a little shoulder bruise, and he came back with a fury in the second half and just started hitting people. And Adams took the biggest hit, got knocked out, had to leave the football game, running back from Tulsa, and he was disruptive. I mean, Alexander made hit after hit. You heard the crowd. It wasn't a boo, it was Roo for Rufus.
21 tackles in 2 games for him. Later today, more College Football Saturday. Our tripleheader continues. College Football Saturday kickoff show presented by Kyocera. Then Boise State battles Oregon State. That'll be followed by New Mexico State. The Ags up in Boulder to take on the Buffaloes of Colorado. It's all later today at 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 p.m. Pacific, only on FSN. Well, we came in, of course, talking about Reb Bomar getting the start, Peterson getting on track, and then for Tulsa, Mills was going to have to be the guy. He answered as well.
Did he ever? He stepped up and played a huge role, making contested catches, finding little seams in the zone, knowing where to go to get open. Here he's fighting cramps, fighting for the end zone, ball knocked free, but he was not going to quit. There was no quit in Mills whatsoever. They wanted him to have at least 10 catches. He got more than that, and he stepped up large today as well. I think we may see him on Sunday somewhere.
3rd and 14 for Oklahoma. Kewan Jones. They want to stay in bounds, and he does. Now Mills ended up with 13 receptions for 152 yards and a losing cause for Tulsa, so it would appear with 1:21 to go and another player down for Tulsa.
That's the linebacker again, re-cramping.
And the Hurricane, they're out of timeouts. Obviously, you get the medical timeout here.
Bunting again.
Yeah, they're working on Nick Bunting, the junior out of Tulsa from Holland Hall High School. And Bunting, another all-WAC performer along with Mills last year. And Tulsa's excited about their move to Conference USA, and it is going to be interesting with the shuffle going on in college athletics and the conference realignment and a 2-division setup. They'll have a championship game this year, but Tulsa's in a pretty good group of like schools, I think, Dave, when you consider SMU and Rice and UTEP. There's a look all coming aboard from the WAC. And then you've got Tulane and Houston, who are already members. That's a nice group in the West, and then your East Division with East Carolina, Marshall, Memphis, Southern Miss, UAB, and Central Florida.
Well, I agree, and we got to say it one more time. Ashland Davis, I hope you learned a lesson, because this, I know, was a game you wanted to compete in. And you were to help Tulsa as another weapon in the passing game, plus the return game, dictating field position. And Steve Craigthorpe is saying, you know what? The team is bigger than you. You're not bigger than the team. But when Ashland Davis returns, this kid's returned. He returned 5 kickoffs for touchdowns last year. And he returned 1 in 4 straight games. That's both NCAA records. Steve Craigthorpe will look forward to Ashland Davis contributing after today as well. You throw him in the mix, who knows what would have happened today for sure.
And on the other side for Oklahoma, Bob Stoops' questions are, what do you think?
Well, I still think that you have to expand the quarterback's role. I mean, obviously, you're going to have to develop him. Rhett Bomar has an ability to run. I think you're going to see, as the season goes on, more of a running package out of the quarterback, out of the shotgun. I'm not saying he's going to run the speed option and take a bunch of hits, because you only have two quarterbacks.
Yeah, Tommy Grady transferred to Utah.
If he goes down, you're down to Thompson. That's it. So, and then with Thompson, you might think about maybe having him play some wide receiver, but he gets nicked up. You only have two quarterbacks. So they're in a little bit of a dicey situation, and they're going to have to get it figured out, though, because UCLA, Kansas State, Texas, are you kidding me? You know, they get some competition coming up here quickly.
Bruins next week, and then Bob Stoops and his old boss Bill Snyder will hook up here on October 1st with Kansas State. And obviously the big one in the Cotton Bowl in Texas, setting the stage for all of that with its game against Ohio State tonight up at the Horseshoe in Columbus. What a dandy that ought to be.
I think with Romar, you have that run-pass combination like they have in the Big 12 with so many guys. I think he can do both for you, and I think his role will expand as his career goes on week to week here.
4th down and 12. They punt it away. Tulsa bringing the house with nobody back. Nearly got it. That was kind of a last hope deal. It just rolls into the end zone. So denies Freebie. Sticking it down there on the 1. You can see, thought he had one there. And the Sooners, 37-2 under Bob Stoops at the Gaylord Family Memorial Stadium today. First game Sooners did not win by more than 10.
Wow.
When scoring a victory. And
that's incredible.
Tip your cap to Tulsa. They came in well prepared, good game plan. Defense was outstanding. Offense got them a touchdown when they certainly needed it most. And it finally came down to just too much Adrian Peterson.
Too much Adrian Peterson for sure. But I mean, Tulsa, you hold your head high. You competed at the highest level you possibly could today. Brought your A game, you should be proud.
1st and 10 for Smith with 45 seconds to go. Incomplete. Golden Hurricane, they play a number of bowl teams this year right out of the chute. Last week was Minnesota, of course today Oklahoma. North Texas was a bowl team last year. Then they go back home from Memphis and Houston before meeting Southern Miss and Rice. And you see on down the line.
Well, the thing that they also look at, they had Lawrence Maroney last week, Adrian Peterson this week. Then they have Jamario Thomas from North Texas, D'Angelo Williams from Memphis. I mean, the running backs, it's unbelievable with that schedule. Look what they have coming up, not only opposition-wise, but stopping the run. And that's where Tulsa has struggled, to stop the run.
Sooners with 227 yards rushing today. Smith has to keep the football, looking for blocks. And he is brought down at the 35 with the clock 31 seconds to go. And he got the first down, so that'll stop the clock for a moment. They'll reset the chains. Smith unloads it, and Jackson fumbled the football after the reception and still loose on the ground, and then finally picked up by the Hurricane. He may have a first down with 19 seconds to go.
Looked like rugby. The ball, it's like a scrum, and the ball came popping out of there.
Quiller coming up with it. Richard is senior from Midwest City.
I think it was a step in the right direction for Oklahoma with their offensive line, but I think they're still looking for the right combination up front. I really think that they're still trying to get it done up front. There's a big Oklahoma fan right there, Toby Keith.
Toby Keith, the big Sooner fan, loving the action here today. Picked off, they may get a little gravy here. Oklahoma with the INT and dancing into the end zone, the Sooners, Clint Ingram.
Yeah, he's either cramping or has a pulled muscle.
I thought he was showboating, but apparently cramping up.
He's hurt. He's either cramping or he's pulled. Ingram with an interception return for a touchdown. So now Bob Stoops has won all his home games by 10 points or more.
They must have read that graphic on the sidelines.
Yeah. Did a little icing on the cake, and boy, I'm thinking he cramped up. Hopefully he's just knotted up and it's not a pull. But he read this and jumped the route. And Ingram says, "See you later. I'm down the sideline." Nice little move on Smith. Now he's tightening up. Oh. But he did cross the goal line. He started raising that ball, lifting that ball, and big old lineman, Hamster Reese said, you know what, I'm going to knock it out of your hand.
He's the second pick of the season. He had one last week and lost to TCU. The kick is good, and Oklahoma doubles it up 30-15, or 31-15, I should say. And I thought that was a poor man's version of Dion, but was not the case, and hopefully he'll be all right. Let's go down to Jim Knox.
Yeah, here he is, Ingram just getting off. It was cramps. They came over and they continue to congratulate him, but definitely cramps. He was not showboating, guys.
Well, I'll tell you what, when you're cramping, Knoxy, it's not wise to raise the ball. Protect the ball. Ball security, whether you're cramping or not, is a key. You know, you don't lift that thing up before you cross the goal line. Tuck that thing away, man, and almost get knocked out of his hands before he scored.
Had he not scored, he never would have heard the end of that, cramping or not.
Exactly. Make sure you cross the goal line before you start exhibiting that ball. Put the mustard on the dog in the end zone, not on the 1-yard line.
Make that the Johnsonville broad.
Yeah,
would,
exactly.
right?
Exactly.
Take another look here as Oklahoma going up 31-15.
Now, here he starts to elevate the ball. He makes the cut. He's thinking, okay, I'm in. I'm going to raise the ball even though I'm cramping. Don't raise the ball in celebration too soon now, because the O-line doesn't like that. Score, and then worry about the football.
So Clint Ingram, senior, comes up with the final touchdown for the Sooners. The other three were from Adrian Peterson, and a defensive score. And that's something that certainly the Sooners are grateful for, and something they may need here until their offense does get on track this year. The kickoff with 3 seconds to go, and Tulsa runs it back, and that'll end the football game. Adrian Peterson, huge afternoon with 220 yards and 4 scores. Steve Craigthorpe's Hurricane, a game effort, but they fall short. Plan to join us next week for a college football tripleheader. Includes the top 2 teams in the nation. First at 12:30 Eastern, SMU versus Texas A&M. Then at 7 Eastern, 6 Central, Rice versus number 2 Texas. Followed at 10:15 Eastern, 7:15 Pacific, Arkansas against number 1 USC. Coming up next, many of you see the Big 12 postgame show live. Now this is Bill Land for Dave Lapham and Jim Knox saying so long for Norman. OU wins at 30.